Yeah, sort of just on the edge in 6-star, you're floating it through that left-hander, and then you have to get it all under control.
Yeah, and then trying to figure out where you can brake and when you want to brake, and how much you want to do.
It's all right. So fastest first, Sector 4 Dallas Redhead, and as we have mentioned over the last few weeks, does take a few Ks for the tyres to get into the operating window. So we're not normally expecting to see the faster lap times till we get to lap 3 or 4 in the qualifying session, obviously depending on the length of the circuit. As we said, the current layout there, 4.4 Ks at Phillip Island.
So here's where you're going to be the most gentlest around here. The run out of here, you're on third through this corner, on the edge, clicking up through the gears, you'll be fifth through the last corner. But if you drop a wheel or have a bit of a drift, it ruins the lap you're on, and the next lap, obviously, because it's such a fast corner going onto the main straight.
So you've got to bank up that speed to get a good run down the straight. So passing opportunity at the end, is it, Mitch, do you think, when you'll be racing with the other Yahoos out there?
If you get a good enough run, you could probably keep it up the inside, but this is just really a tap of the brakes, leave it in 6th, leave it in 5th, kind of into turn 1. You could be annoying and try and keep the car up the inside, big reward or big consequences as well if you get it wrong.
That's right, with the risks come the reward. So we've got 146.276 for Dylan Dalrymple. Dallas Redhead second on the qualifying board at the moment with a 146.4, and Adam Bell sitting in P3 on a 147.1. There's Adam in the number 15 Kmart livery Holden.
We have some language, and looks like some cars pointing the wrong way, so like I say, there's not many laps once the tyres are up to temperature to get a good time. So,
and we do get a little bit of bad language here. Hopefully it doesn't come through the air.
It's a good indicator of which screen to look at.
See where all the action's happening. All right, so Dylan Dalrymple, what can he pull out of the bag? We say we've had some 144s and 145s in testing leading up to the racing tonight.
Green middle sector, but not the first sector.
No.
Purple sector for Adam Bell there.
So Paul Lancaster in the South Canterbury Removals Falcon, he's yet to get in under the 2-minute mark into the 150s when we've got the fast runners into the high 140s.
46.1, that's not bad. What can Adam Bell do with a purple middle sector? There you go, straight to the top.
146.149. Adam Bell and the Kmart Holden. So
that close, you're just going to put the throttle down a little bit earlier coming out of a corner and you'll be on pole.
Or just brake about 2 metres later.
Looks easy on here, you're like, oh yeah, I could do that, but once you're driving it, it's not that easy.
The good drivers do make it look easy, unfortunately.
This here will be the passing opportunity into this corner. Again, same thing, you could get a bit greedy and brake late, but that corner does tighten up quite quickly. So
what do you think? You'll be trying to hang around the outside of that fast left-hander coming into it, so you're sitting on the inside?
And then just bomb it up the inside. But yeah, like I say, there's fine margin of error. Through here, you're not going to do too much. It's pretty fast tap. And then up through here, you're just kind of tapping the brakes, dropping a gear. If you can try and get on the outside, up over this hill, you can again try and throw it up the inside if the person in front's not aware to it and doesn't block. But yeah, not as lot as passing opportunities, but again, if you hang it out and lose a bit of speed through one of these faster corners, especially coming onto the front straight, it wouldn't be hard to get a bit of a run on someone and just put the car where it's a bit annoying into turn 1.
So just try and unsettle the cars coming down that main straight.
Do some drafting. I don't know if that really works too well, but
I've been watching drafting at the coverage of the Isle of Man this week, and by gosh, drafting was working there for those insane lunatics.
If it can work for a motorbike, I'm guessing it can work for a ute.
That's right. Although we have wondered with the shape of a ute and their flat decks, the way the air rolls off the back of them, whether you get as much of an advantage drafting as you would off, say, a saloon car or something with a big wing on the back that's punching a bigger hole through the air, apparently. You know, maybe have a chat to the Ute runners if next time they come back to Timaru. They seem to enjoy their visit here this year. But anyway, we've got 145s, a 145.6 for Dylan Dalrymple, 145.8 for Adam Bell.
And time's up on the clock, so
let's see who else crosses the line. It's Paul Latu in the Valvoline machine doing a 150.1. He's in P8. Paul Lancaster 149.2. Lincoln Brunton will be Lincoln Brunton in the Red Bull machine. I'm guessing a 148.5. Guest for the week, Jimmy Carroll doing a 148.4. James Swaney 147.4. With Dylan Dalrymple, Adam Bell, Dallas Redhead topping the timing charts.
Very close between the front runners, so it should be interesting in this first race, see how they go.
Well, generally in race one, the plan is Dylan Dalrymple just gets out to the lead and drives away, so we'll see if Adam Bell can keep him honest.
If you can get in front of him, you've got a chance, but if he gets a bit of clear air, you're, it doesn't really work. He's quite quick and clean air and can take away from the rest of the pack.
So there is Lincoln Brunton with the Red Bull livery on his Holden Ute.
A couple of green boxes there, so he might improve.
Only needs 0.03 of a second to take fifth spot off Jimmy Carroll.
And he does, goes up to fourth.
Goes up to fourth. Good job, Lincoln Brunton in the Red Bull Holden. So we're just on overtime, so anyone else going to put their stake in the ground for a faster lap?
It's all those people that saw qualifying over and just pulled over and parked and then realised, I probably could have finished that lap.
So Paul Latu going through in the Valvoline Holden.
Very easy here too to also burn up the rear tyres through these faster kind of corners too, so it'll be interesting during the race to obviously keep tyre temps under control. Alrighty,
so it is Dylan Dalrymple, Adam Bell on the front row for our first 7-lap sprint round this evening for the Tier 2 competitors. Billy's just checking a couple of the sims.
Billy's running around being the mechanic at the moment, trying to fix a few issues with some drivers.
Also looks like Billy's been to the hairdresser over the week, got a styly new do. So he can go out slaying the ladies at the weekend. Alrighty, we're away. Dylan Dalrymple does get a huge start off the line, leading the field into the first right-hander. As Mitch said, not much of a braking zone here. They carry a lot of speed through the corner.
All on cold tyres too, so I mean, rewards the brave.
Yeah. Paul Lancaster has done well in earlier rounds on cold tyres, so we've got a driver off the back of the ready, Jimmy Carroll in the Jim Beam bonded machine.
Oh no, commentator's curse.
That's all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Lancaster. There's a little bit of our colourful language, but it is Dylan Dalrymple leading Dallas Redhead, Adam Bell, James Swaney on the first of 7 laps at Phillip Island. Just going into the tight right-hander, which was saying earlier on is a very good passing opportunity if you can slide it down the inside of the driver in front of you.
Here's just about, you're in third gear through here, so yeah. Here's where you want to set up your run through the next couple of fast corners, going up over the hill into the next kind of hard braking corner.
Right, so Adam Bell all over the back of Dallas in the Gatorade machine. There's James Swaney in the HOSS Falcon. He's followed by young Lincoln Brunton in the Red Bull Holden. And we've got Paul Latu, Jimmy Carroll, who exited the circuit. He's rejoined in front of Paul Lancaster.
The old Gatorade machine blocking the inside there, just being a bit weary with cold tyres.
Just fine line, just dancing around lightly.
Into fifth through here, and it just wants to step out if you use a little too much throttle or a little too much curb. So again, if you have a wee step out, you could get a run down into turn 1, but everyone seems to be doing nicely.
Yeah, 1:58.04. Dylan Dalrymple from a standing start. 2 seconds faster than anyone else in the field. We've got Lincoln Brunton just trying to have a look down the inside of James Swaney in the HOSS machine, coming through the fast right-hander off the front straight.
Oh, bit of understeer, going a bit wide, going to lose a car length or two.
Yeah, and we can see off the flat deck also out to Paul Artu, that's got himself up to P6 in the Valvoline Holden. Through the fast left-hand lender they go, just fighting them through then into the hard braking zone, into the hairpin.
Everyone's just kind of far enough away from each other that there's not really a move on from anyone just yet.
But Dylan Dalrymple already out to over a 2-second lead over Dallas Redhead in the Gatorade machine. Adam Bell, James Swaney, Lincoln Brunton. There is the race leader.
Couple of different lines taken from a few people there, so we'll see which one's faster.
Yeah, Lincoln Brunton looks like he's trying to line up James Swaney for a move. Just moving to the left and the right, giving James Swaney plenty to look at in his mirrors. So can Adam Bell get onto the back of Dallas Redhead?
He was fast in qualifying, so he has the speed, but we'll see. He might be able to make a move now.
Also, though, you don't want to assist your competitor out into the kiddie litter.
Here we go. We'll see how this works into turn 1. Oh, he pulls out of it.
Just had a wee sneaky peek down the inside, but he's 3 or 4 ute lengths back. 1:45 for Dylan Dalrymple as he gets into his groove. Oh, there we go. James Swaney succumbed to the pressure from young Lincoln Brunton. He's exited the circuit.
You want to run the car quite wide through that part of the section to cut back into the apex, and obviously if you run it a little too wide you can drop the wheel onto the dirt, and it's all over from there.
So Lincoln Brunton into the 1:47s. Let's see if he can go a little bit faster without anyone in his path. Dallas Redhead's managed to drop Adam Bell back a couple of ute lengths as well.
Purple first sector for Redhead as well, so he's making that clear track in front of him work for him.
So back through the field, James Swaney. He's pushed himself back to P5. Still Latu 6, Jimmy Carroll, Paul Lancaster at the back of the field in the South Canterbury Removals Falcon. So there's Paul Latu. He's got Jimmy Carroll trying to chase him down in the Jim Beam bonded machine.
Paul Lancaster playing the tactical game of wanting to start on pole for the next race.
Very tactical for the reverse squid race for the second sprint race for the Tier 2 competitors. Dylan Dalrymple on lap 3 of 7 this evening. Already out to a 5-second lead.
We're going to have another run into turn 1.
He has a look but pulls back into line, didn't he, Mitch?
If he stays close enough, there's might be the different lines a bit faster from Redhead through the turn 1, but the crisscross into the tighter part of this corner now might get a bit of a run.
He's right on his bumper through that fast left-hander.
So as they come up, be 6th gear into the next braking opportunity. So will he have a look? He's going to run out of laps if he's going to take the opportunities while he can.
He'll go into the heavy braking zone. Oh, has a look down the inside, but he's not close enough to pull off a passing manoeuvre. He does push Dallas Redhead out a little bit wide, but Dallas manages to keep his momentum going. Nice tight line there from Adam Bell, going through the fast left-hander.
I like that he's trying something different than the car in front. I mean, if you follow the car in front, you're only going to go as fast as the person in front of you. So he's trying a couple of different lines, keeping the ute a bit tighter or a bit wider through some corners, and we'll see if he gets a run. I'd say he's going to... Oh, he's left the door. No, he's closed the door.
Dallas Redhead taking some very good tight lines, but still managing to maintain some good ute speed. There we go, the big left-handers coming on to the faster part of the circuit. So can Adam Bell get a run on, Mitch?
There's
too far back.
If he just needs to keep the mirror full and try and get him to make a mistake, but near identical times.
Yeah, 146.3 for Dallas Redhead, 146.5. Meanwhile, up the road, we've got Dylan Dalrymple under pressure from no one but himself, doing 145.8. Very wide line there for Dallas Redhead as Adam Bell sits the left-hand wheel on the ripple strip going through the big left-hander. So young Lincoln Brunton just in the background there, 7 seconds behind this battle in P4.
Oh, he's gone wide. Change for second place.
So just asserted a little bit of pressure, Adam Bell. Luckily Dallas Redhead only dropped one place, or still a little bit loose though in the Gatorade machine.
Obviously we're about where the tyres are going off, so it'll be interesting to see now if he can return the pressure onto Adam Bell.
Can Adam Bell do anything about shutting down Dylan Dalrymple, who's on lap 5 of 7 in the first sprint race for the Tier 2 competitors?
5-second lead is quite handy at this point of the race. You can kind of not take so many risks through the fast corners.
We have seen the odd driver though become a bit of a master of their own destiny.
It is easy done too.
Yeah, if you just think, oh, there's no pressure on me now, just miss your braking point and
miss a gear change or miss the clutch as you go down.
And we have seen some mechanical carnage as well, as you say, with missed gear changes, blown engines and blown gearboxes.
Keeping Fords and Holden's parts in business with gearboxes.
We are very impressed though with the time it takes to drop a new engine in one though. So the opposite lock there for Dylan Dalrymple in the Brembo Ford Falcon. It's coming through the fast left-handers. Alright, down through the gears.
Purple first sector, so he's not slowing down, he's still going for it.
Good to see. Okay, up through the gears now as he climbs the hill. So of course Phillip Island hosts Superbikes, hosts MotoGP. The V8 supercars run there. Goes all the way back to the 1920s. Was originally a 16-kilometre gravel circuit, just a big rectangle. And then
also have quite a good classic festival there too, where they
the biggest classic motor racing festival in the southern hemisphere, I've been told. So a few friends in the Jaguar community I get round and have been there and do recommend it for a visit. So 145 is the fastest, 146.0. So Dylan Dalrymple's just eased off half a second, but he's not under any pressure.
Adam Bell's pulled a bit of a lead away from Dallas Redhead as well.
Yeah. Looks like Dallas Redhead hasn't given up the chase though. He's got the Gatorade Ford moving all over the circuit as he's trying to get back on Adam Bell's bumper in the Kmart Holden. Just a second and a half up the road. We'll just see young Lincoln Brunton there in the Red Bull Holden. And there he goes. He's holding down a very steady P4. Looking back to James Swaney that he got past earlier on when James had a little bit of a moment exiting the circuit. There he goes in the HOSS Falcon. Oh, Paul Artu's had a spin. And Jimmy Carroll's hunting him down in the Jim Beam bonded machine.
It's Good for Jimmy now. He's a bit closer. He's got him in his sights.
Got a target to aim for, and then in the back we can see Paul Lancaster in the South Canterbury removals.
He's done well to come catch back up to the field after that spin, so he might have some good pace for the reverse good race.
Doing 1:48, so yes, if he can get away in the next race, might be able to get some valuable points for the Tier 2 field. So there's Adam Bell, and there's the race leader. Dylan Dalrymple going to put another win on the board for the Tier 2 competitors. He's been dominating the championship.
Has he got enough points to claim it this weekend if he has another perfect round? That is the question.
Don't know.
Billy Rowley's got his thinking.
Billy Rowley's got his thinking face on. Alrighty, Lincoln Brunton goes through. In the Red Bull Holden, there's Paul Artu in the Valvoline machine. He's got Jimmy Carroll on his tail, with Paul Lancaster going to come in P8 for the Tier 2 competitors. And we'll have a quick turnaround and have a reverse good race. Another 7 laps at the Phillip Island circuit. So there we go, another convincing win. Dylan Dalrymple in the Brembo machine, Adam Bell, Dallas Redhead, Lincoln Brunton in the Red Bull machine. There he goes, just going through the shot now. James Swaney, Paul Artu, Jimmy Carroll and Paul Lancaster rounding out the 8-car field for the Tier 2 competitors. So now we've reset the field, reverse good race with Paul Lancaster, Jimmy Carroll on the front row. Adam Bell, Dylan Dalrymple at the back. Can the fast runners get through the field? Wait and see. So can the Tier 2 competitors get through the fast first right-hander without any carnage with a mixed grid? Anyway, lights are on, getting ready to launch.
That's the start.
And away we go. They hook up off the line.
Pretty good
Looks
start
like Lincoln Brunton slow starting. Adam Bell moves to the centre, try and get a move on. Moves to the inside.
3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, a little bit of nudge there. Jimmy Carroll, Paul Lancaster.
Playing for keeps in this race.
We've got driving standards adjudicator Billy Rowley looking on. But Paul Lancaster's managed to get into the lead. There's a couple of car lengths over Jimmy Carroll. And we've got James Swaney just trying to go through the inside there of the HOSS machine, having a little bit of a nudge.
It's going to come back across. No.
And he backs out of it.
Everyone's pointing the same direction already, so it's a good start.
Right, still another little bit of a nudge there. That's Dallas Redhead in the Gatorade machine. And Jimmy Carroll. So,
Battle of the late breakers.
Yeah, Dallas Redhead has the inside line coming out of the hairpin. Oh, a little bit of nudge there. That looks like, was it Latu and...
I hope I don't curse this, but it's actually very tidy so far.
A little bit of nudge. Latu and James Swaney. So Lincoln Brunton just running in P6 there. Always another little bit of a nudge. That looked like it was at Latu again. Oh, Jimmy Carroll, what's he going to do? Oh, luckily he doesn't take out.
Oh, he's around.
Dylan Dalrymple gets through. All the other drivers come through reasonably unscathed though. So
he's going to throw it up the inside. Right, Lincoln's going to do it. He's made it stick.
Good pass there from Lincoln Brunton. Puts him up to P4. And while that's all been happening, Dallas Redhead's got past Paul Lancaster in the South Canterbury removals machine. Dylan Dalrymple from P8 up to P3.
He's got the run going into turn 1. See if he can make something happen.
Has a wee look down the inside. Will he coming into the fast right hand? No, Paul moves over to the right to cover him off. Moves left again. Can Dylan Dalrymple get through? Not this time.
Everyone pretty tidy through turn 1.
Yeah, Dallas Redhead leads them through lap 1 of 7. Reverse good race for the Tier 2 competitors. Latu's all over the back of Adam Bell's Kmart machine. Dylan Dalrymple just getting a little bit out of shape there in the Brembo Falcon.
Got a bit excited on the throttle. Another car.
Yeah, you see Latu there has parked the Valvoline Holden on the inside of the circuit.
Paul driving very defensive. That's bunching the field up.
Yeah, Lincoln Brunton now. He's on Dylan Dalrymple's bumper. Can he do something exciting?
He's putting the nose up on the inside of Paul.
Yeah. So through the left-hander they go. Starting the climb up the hill.
Gets the run through here, and obviously coming up to the next kind of passing opportunity is on the other side of the hill going into the hairpin. Lincoln with a real good run through there.
Yes. Certainly was. Very tidy line there for Dylan Dalrymple. All into
Paul
the braking zone.
Very aggressively. Very defensively, sorry.
Yeah, and while that was going on, Lincoln had to get on the brakes and luckily avoided the back of the Brembo Falcon.
Yes, if Lincoln can get a run through these corners and get the run down the front straight, kind of capitalise on Paul running a bit defensive. Oh, bit of a slide from Dylan. Oh, Lincoln's got the run.
So can he keep the car speed going through the right-hander with the tighter line?
Oh, he pulls out of it.
He does. Though Lincoln given Dalrymple plenty to think about. Is Paul Lancaster trying to keep Dylan at bay. That's allowed Dallas Redhead to pull out another 10th. So through the fast left-hander they drift, slowing down into the right-hander.
Paul just running it up the inside, trying to run it defensive. There's really only the two spots, and he'll get away if he just kind of keeps it tidy up the inside.
Yeah, so is that James Swaney, Adam Bell, they're having a little bit of a dice for 5th and 6th. Oh, Adam just hooking through the inside there, going through the left-hander. Gets his nose in front. Then James Swaney right round the outside to come through the next fast right-hander.
Here we go again into the next wee, hard braking.
So Paul does go wide coming through that left-hander over the hill to make sure he's got the inside line for the very tight right-hand hairpin there.
Dylan's having a look.
He's got a run on.
He's got a run. How much room is there up the inside? Paul's being very nice, giving him a bit of room.
Although Paul moves left on the circuit, goes down the centre of 146.9 for Dallas Redhead and clear air. Lancaster, Dalrymple, Brunton, Bell, Swaney, Carroll. So Dylan Dalrymple not being able to get past Paul Lancaster in the South Canterbury Removals Falcon. Previous rounds he's made reasonably easy work of getting through the field. Not this time though. Paul Lancaster's making him work for his money.
Widest Falcon ever built there, the South Canterbury Removals car.
And of course Dylan doesn't want to make a mistake and take out the competitor he's passing, get a 15-second penalty. That would be quite detrimental when the field's running so closely. Or Lincoln giving it too much jandle coming out of the right hand. It gets a little bit squirrely in the Red Bull Holden. That allows Eden Bell to close him down.
He's going to have a run up the inside here. Well, has he got enough up the inside?
Paul's going to be on the inside going through the right-hander.
We're heading to about the point of the race where the tyres start going off as well, so we'll see if that will make an issue for them.
Now once again, Paul Lancaster takes the wide line through the left-hander, so he's sitting on the inside for the slow corner, or gets a little bit loose there as he gets the power down. Might allow Dylan Dalrymple to get a run on.
Oh, yeah.
Once again. That's going to
slowed everyone up.
Yeah.
So who's going to have the run into turn one?
Coming through the fast left-handers to come down the start-finish straight once again at Phillip Island.
Oh, I think they're in the dirt.
Starting lap 5, let's allow Paul Lancaster to pull out a couple of car lengths over Dylan Dalrymple. Still Adam, that's Adam Bell, fastest lap. 148, 146.3 is it? Didn't wear my specs this evening. Dallas Redhead there, under no pressure, doing 147.2s.
Can he capitalise on the battle in front of him and pick the right part to pass?
Oh, that's it. If Dylan Dalrymple, even if he does get Paul Lancaster, Dallas Redhead's going to be a wee way down the road in the Gatorade machine.
This is where Lincoln could advance as well if the car's in front of them. Oh, they won't do it doing that.
No, just overcooked it a little bit there. Lincoln Brunton going into the braking zone.
Go, change for second place.
Paul's got the inside through the left-hander, although Dylan Dalrymple's got his nose in front. Paul's over, takes the position.
Adam Bell's going to have a look too, see if he can capitalise.
So good effort there for Paul Lancaster, keeping the fast runner Dylan Dalrymple behind him for the first 4 or 5 laps of the race. Adam Bell's just trying to have a wee look down the inside as Paul gets a little bit light.
Later on in the series, everyone's kind of worked out what they can and can't do, and where to and where not to place the Utes.
Lincoln Brunton, he's watching all the action in front of him. He's there to capitalise should these two take each other out. Meanwhile, Dylan Dalrymple will be now trying to shut down the 2.5 second gap between himself and Dallas Redhead. 146.1, so Dallas Redhead has responded. 145.9 from Dylan Dalrymple though.
This will be interesting to see now. Dylan's in clear air, what he can do.
Yeah.
He's fast when he's got no one in front of him.
2 laps to go. Adam Bell's moving left and right, trying to keep Lincoln Brunton behind him in the Red Bull Holden. Paul Lancaster holding down P3 there in the South Canterbury removals machine, or gets a little bit loose coming out of the fast left-hander. Could allow Adam Bell to get a run on him. And there is James Swaney just out the back of the shot in the HOSS machine, so Paul Lancaster taking a tight line through the slow right-hander. Managing to keep Adam Bell in his mirrors through this part of the circuit. Lincoln Brunton also there watching all the action in the Red Bull machine. So
here we go again, see what they can do through these corners.
And Bell making a definite move to the left to take the tight line through the fast left-hand sweeper. Paul Lancaster keeps him behind him for now. Lincoln Brunton goes out wide, comes up tight. Lincoln Brunton's going to capitalise here.
That's all he's waiting for.
Yep. He doesn't need a written invitation. That's 5th to 3rd for young Lincoln Brunton in the Red Bull machine.
1 lap to go as well. He just needs to hold on to it.
There's got to be some good points there for our star guest. What can Dylan Dalrymple do? 145.0 for Dylan Dalrymple as he's trying to hunt down Dallas Redhead. He's got the gap down to under a second. Can Dallas Redhead hold out to the checkered flag on the last lap? Less than 4 kilometres to go for the Gatorade machine. Just looking out the flat deck there, that's Lincoln Brunton looking back to Adam Bell and the number 15 Kmart Holden. James Swaney further back in the shot in the HOSS Falcon. So Lincoln Brunton, he made out like a bandit with Adam Bell, Paul Lancaster having a little bit of a moment. So Dylan Dalrymple now on to Dallas Redhead's bumper. Through the slower part of the circuit they go. What can he do? He's got a convincing lead in the championship, so he doesn't need to take any risks, but we do know that Dylan's a racer.
He's done well to catch up, especially this late in the race with worn tyres.
That's right. He knows that P2's the first loser. He just hangs around the inside there through the left-hander.
He's going to have a look around the outside. Oh,
gets a little bit loose going over the top of the hill into the braking zone for the slow right-hander.
Redhead knows where to put the car just to cut that passing opportunity off.
Yeah, going to try and make that Falcon as wide as possible.
Dylan's done well to conserve some tyres for the end of the race to come back from that far away.
Yeah. Through the fast left-handers they go. He'll be giving it the jandle.
Run to the line.
All right. Congratulations to Dallas Redhead. He's going to take the win. Race 2 for the Tier 2 competitors. Dylan Dalrymple's going through. Come through from the back row of the grid to take second. It's going to keep his championship hopes well alive. He's been dominating from the outset, really. Lincoln Brunton, good finish there. P3 in the Red Bull machine. James Swaney, Adam Bell. Just watching Paul Artu in the Valvoline machine. Paul Lancaster came through 6th, 7th for Jimmy Carroll. Anyway, thank you very much, Mitch, for keeping me company. To the next one. So we'll be having the Tier 2 drivers just getting out of their races. Tier 1 drivers getting in, and then we'll be having a 8-lap qualifying session for the Tier 1 competitors. And as we said, Johnny Small has been the fastest in testing this week. It's the first time we haven't seen young Alex Sprague at the top of the table, so he's got something to chase. So welcoming Paul Lancaster.
Yes, good evening, Brendan. How you going?
Doing all right?
Yeah, not bad.
You like
I got a good start in that first race.
You certainly did.
And then I got punted off again, Brendan. So I think Billy Rowley will have to look at race 1 and perhaps dish out a penalty there.
But race 2 though, you managed to keep Dylan behind you for the first 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, I was looking in the mirrors. They were having a bit of an argy-bargy in behind me. And I was hoping that they were going to slow themselves up and let me gap it a wee bit. But no, Dylan's far too quick. And Dallas Redhead took the race win there for the Tier 2 for the reverse grid.
Had a very good win there, and young Lincoln Brunton did all right coming through P3. He made the most of another little stoush in front of him.
Yes, well, you've got to take your chances when they're there.
You certainly do. And so you do like the Phillip Island circuit?
Very tricky indeed. A lot of blind crests and things like that, but no, just starting to get the feel of it. But definitely high speed. It's the first time really we've had the Utes in 6th gear tapped out on the rev limiter, so almost reaching for 7th gear, Brendan.
Need an extra overdrive in the gearbox.
Yeah,
need
something
a
like
Trimac T7.
But a very fast track, fast flowing track with a couple of tight hairpin turns in there.
So Mitch and I were discussing it's the first circuit we've seen you guys at that they actually do race V8 Utes at, and the lap record for a V8 Utes are 148. You guys doing the faster runners 144s, 145s.
Yeah, I got mine down to a 47.1 now, which was pretty good considering I was a 50 in practice, so pretty happy with that.
And you've got another opportunity later on this evening for the second round of races when the Tier 2 competitors get back behind the wheel. But now
so once again, it looks like we're missing Billy Manson, who's out for the rest of the season by the sound of it.
I did see they were advertising for a driver to fill the slot.
There's a contract for 2 rounds going. So
the super sub in.
Yeah, super sub. Who was it this week? Mitch Hamilton, by the looks of that.
Who was gracious enough to give me a little bit of a hand commentating for the first races. It was good to get his inside knowledge as we headed around the 4.4 kilometres of Phillip Island.
That's right. Very, very fast track, as I was saying. You go down that front straight. Very, very fast indeed.
And of course you're running reasonably powerful machines on a fast flowing circuit with no aero whatsoever.
No aero at all. Very light in the rear. And over these crests you've got to be careful on the accelerator that you don't get the power down too early. Just ride her away.
Yeah, I did see the odd Ute getting a little bit taily.
So we'll come round onto the Gardner Straight to start their hot laps. So I guess they're underway. 6 minutes 30 left in the session. It's about minute 50 odd, so it's got a couple of minutes to get round there for your out lap, and probably 3 hot laps, I would say. But just about coming together already as they're fighting for some air out there. They get themselves some track position for qualifying. Of course, the man to beat, Alex Sprague in the Milwaukee number 56. Johnny Small there running the Irwin colours this week.
Well, Johnny Small has been fastest in testing this week. A couple of tenths up on young Alex Sprague.
Yeah, which is one out of the box really. You normally see Alex at the top of the time trees in all the circuits that they visit here at HOSS. Phillip Island here tonight for round 7 for the Tier 1, Tier 2 Championship in the V8 Utes. Braden Carroll there in the Kmart 1. Couple of purple sectors there on his out lap obviously, but we'll see how he goes now on his first hot lap. He'll be the first one that comes around to post a time. Alex Sprague not far behind him. And of course Andrew Bruce, there was 3 of them there in the 1 minute 44s I think for the fastest times. And Andrew Bruce was one of them, so keep an eye on him. He's had a pretty steady campaign so far, Andrew Bruce, sitting about 3rd in the championship as Braden Carroll goes purple in the first sector. Of course, he's last year's Tier 2 champion, Braden Carroll, stepping up to the Tier 1 this year. And currently sitting 2nd in the points. A wee margin back from Alex Sprague, Andrew Bruce 3rd. Oh, getting a bit out of shape in the background there was Alex Sprague. That would have cost him a wee bit of time. Carroll going wide too. Getting a wheel out in the grass.
Yeah, that just made it a little bit easier for us to read the Milwaukee signage on the Milwaukee Falcon Ute.
That's right, so here comes Carroll down the Gardner Straight. He's going to reel off the first hot lap. See what his time is, a 45.2, pretty respectable. 45.3 for Alex Sprague with that wee mistake. And also a 45.34 from Johnny Small. And then a couple of seconds back to Nick McPherson. Actually, Morgan Dorr jumps up to 4th place with a 46.4. And Shane Eager goes through a 47.1. So pretty respectable times all through there on their first hot lap. There is Shane Eager.
And of course, they'll be getting the tyres into the right operating window now after a couple of laps around the circuit.
Yeah, it takes a couple of laps, Brendan, so probably the second lap would be the hottest one. You see Braden Carroll getting a 4-wheel drift going on, coming down into the hairpin there. That's the Miller Corner hairpin, and they head up the hill into Siberia, around through here, and then up over the hill.
So also young Alex Sprague there getting a little bit wayward in the rear end on the Milwaukee Falcon, coming out of the tight right-hander. Up over the hill they go.
Johnny Small not too far behind him. Andrew Bruce got a wee bit of work to do there from 6th place. A 46.8 from him. We've seen him a couple of seconds faster than that. And up and over the hill. And then drops back down again on the exit of that corner. Run a wide out right. And pretty much flat out down through here. Just got to ride the old right rear tyre through here. Hopefully she stays on there. Take up a bit of curb as they come down to reel off their second laps. 44.6 from Braden Carroll and a 44.7 from Alex Sprague. So he's got it by a 10th at the moment. Has Braden Carroll. And Johnny Small a 44.7 as well. So 3 of them there within 1.5 tenths of one another. And then Andrew Bruce jumps up to 4th place with a 45.6 with about 2 minutes left on the clock.
So I think Johnny Small's done a 44.1 in testing. Alex Sprague had a 44.3.
So pretty close at the top at the moment. Just a 10.5 between the top 3. Probably the oh, there's Braden Carroll going off. That ruins that lap. So you'll be hoping that Alex doesn't go any quicker. He's just sitting there on the side of the track waiting for everyone to get through.
Well, that's it. He's written this lap off and just make sure he stays out of everyone's way.
He's got a minute and a half to get round to start another one.
So in the sim racing, if you do go off the circuit, do your tyres get dirty? Do you actually notice the difference when you enter the circuit?
Yeah, the tyres, yeah, most certainly. It'd be a corner or two before they clean off. So we've been out in the grass or into the runoff areas.
So purple sector there, yeah, for Alex Sprague.
Let's see what he does this time around with penultimate corner. Carry all the speed you can from now on in. She's flat out. And as I say, down the end of the Gardner Straight in 6th gear, she'll be hitting the rev limiter. Be crying enough. As he comes down to reel off another one. 45 seconds left on the clock, so he will get another lap in. And jumps to the top. Johnny Small, a 44.6 there. Braden Carroll, a 44.65. And Alex Sprague didn't go any faster, or he may have, a 44.7, but sits third. So Johnny Small in that Irwin Holden Ute there, number 18.
So fastest last sector for Johnny Small, fastest middle sector for Alex Sprague. So if one of them can string all the sectors together, they might get a little bit more out of it before the qualifying session's over.
Still just under a tenth and a half between the top three. Andrew Bruce still hanging on to 4th, Morgan Dorr 5th. Shane Edgar down there at the bottom on a 47.1. And Mitch Hamilton doing a good job there, the super sub, a 45.7. As Edgar goes quicker, at 146, but stays in that 8th spot.
So have any of these fast chargers got anything left in their tyres?
Well, Braden Carroll's gone purple in the first sector. He had to reset himself, remember. And the time is up on the clock.
So just looking around, as we say, the tyres are displayed on all the drivers' screens, or someone's got 2 reds there on the right-hand side. That's young Alex Sprague. So he's
getting a bit out of shape there. Definitely not the fastest way around there. In fact, could be holding Johnny Small up a bit. Oh, he goes off the track, does Alex Sprague. And I don't think Johnny Small will go any faster, although he's gone purple in the middle sector. I think he did get held up a wee bit there from Alex Sprague as he comes down the Gardner Straight. And to see what he goes across, even quicker, a 44.45 for Johnny Small. Provisional pole position. We'll just wait to see what Braden Carroll does. Here comes Carroll on the Kmart, number 15, purple in the first sector. Comes down across the line. And he goes through, doesn't go any quicker, stays second fastest, a 44.6. So a tenth and a half between first and second. And for the first time, Johnny Small on pole.
So awesome qualifying effort there from the Irwin Holden. Put it on pole.
Right, got a seven laps for them. Tier 1. First race for round 7 here at Phillip Island. In the V8 Utes. Current series leader down there in 4th by the looks of it. So Morgan Dorr must have had a cracker last lap as well. Jumped up to 3rd. So we're away.
Oh, who's parked at the back there?
Yeah, that's Shane Edgar off to a pretty shitty start back there, but everyone else not too bad as they head down the Gardner Straight, down towards Doon Corner. A few F-bombs already from Braden Carroll there from second place. Not too happy about something as they go round Doon Corner and head up the hill to the tight left-hander up over the top of the hill.
So can young Alex Sprague do anything on cold tyres?
Out of the southern loop, heading up towards Stoner Corner. Flat out left-hander through here, 5th to 6th. And then head down to the Miller Corner here. Down to about 2nd gear. Patient on the accelerator here. As you head back up the hill. Up through Siberia they go. And it's Johnny Small leads the way from Braden Carroll. Alex Sprague, bit of a gap back to Andrew Bruce. Then Morgan Dorr in the Gatorade Muppet machine, sitting there in 5th. From Mitch Hamilton, Shane Edgar gone up a spot on a Nick McPherson. Here goes Sprague looking pretty racy on Carroll. Going to try and go around the outside of them as they come up over the top. He might have track position there, and he might do it in braking. He's got the job done already, Alex Sprague. Can Carroll do the old crossover? Not really, as they head back up over the hill.
So young Alex Sprague now, 1.3 seconds is up the road. Johnny Small there, fastest qualifier in the Irwin Racing. Holden Ute.
Yeah, of course he had a good week last week, didn't he, Johnny Small? And at the moment looking pretty good for him. Pole position and leading as Sprague and Carroll are going for it. Hammer and tongs, they come down the Gardner straight into the Doon corner. Flat out through here, 6th gear, and up the hill.
Yeah, so Braden Carroll had his nose in front momentarily, but
round the southern loop.
Had the inside line.
Round the southern loop they go. Run it out to that curb. Still pretty tidy from everyone else and behind at the moment, but you'll see that Johnny Small's just starting to spread away from the rest of them. A couple of seconds over Alex Sprague in second. Everyone looking pretty racy through there. Of course, with the Tier 1 guys, you don't seem to see too many mistakes. Touch wood, Brendan.
Touching wood, I was just impressed at how well they look, just floating them through that fast left-hand corner. That was a really good shot. Up
through Siberia they go, getting a wee bit out of shape there. The number 24, I think that was Mitch Hamilton, might have been. Just starting to come under a bit of pressure there from Shane Edgar in the background. There's a battle there. Oh, Mitchie's been on fire. Their super sub this year. Filling in for Billy Manson tonight in the VB Ute. Down the hill into Miller Corner. Just having a wee sniff up the inside there is Shane Edgar, trying to put a bit of pressure on. But to got that inside line is Mitch Hamilton. As they go up over the top and down onto the Gardner straight. Still Johnny Small it is out in front, doing it nice and easy from Alex Sprague. Braden Carroll keeping him honest. Good wee battle going on at the back there. Nick McPherson just tucked in the back there in the Newlon Ute, just waiting for something to happen in front. Laid out through this section here. It's the fastest we've had these Utes, Brendan, down the end of the Gardner Straight. Through the Doon corner, the right-hander. And then up over the southern loop, getting a wee bit out of shape there, Andrew Bruce. He might lose a spot here. Morgan Dorr is going to shoot up the inside. And in the end, looks like troubles there for Mitch Hamilton. Shane Edgar and Nick McPherson managed to sneak on through. So Edgar up to 6th. This is a great shot, this one. The Utes sliding around down the Miller hairpin here. Bruce getting out, wee bit out of shape again. Edgar getting on the back of him, so starting to falter under a bit of pressure there, Andrew Bruce. He was running 3rd there at one point. Here goes McPherson up the inside of Mitch Hamilton. And up the hill they go. So looking pretty sharp at the moment for Johnny Small. Alex Sprague still a couple of seconds back. If we could pick the leaders up somewhere, there's the gap. In fact, Braden Carroll's dropped back a long way now, so the first, second and third Utes just starting to string themselves out a bit. It's all Alex Sprague to do. What can he do with 3 or 4 laps left?
Well, Johnny Small's got faster lap times, Paul, so Alex Sprague needs to find a new trick.
Yeah, 44.4 last time. Almost a second a lap faster. Let's see what he does this time through with the clear air of 44.6. And there we go, Alex Sprague of 44.1, so the pressure's on. Just under 2 seconds between the two of them with 3 laps left to go. But catching him's one thing and getting past him's another, Brendan. As you know, it's you can be quite defensive, not the fastest, but be defensive and hold them back a wee bit.
Well, we did see you keep, Dylan Dalrymple behind yourself for a good 4 or 5 laps. You just need to take the right line, not make any mistakes, and it's very hard for the chasing driver to get round you.
So Johnny Small, we had a pretty ratchet start to the first half of the season. He's sort of come on strong the last couple of rounds. Pole position tonight. See if he can turn it into a race win with a couple of laps left to go. Here's Braden Carroll sitting here in 3rd place. Morgan Dorr not too far behind. And Andrew Bruce has found his mojo again. And not too far back, Shane Edgar in the South Canterbury Removals Falcon. Up a couple of spots from the starting 8th.
Yeah, Nicholas McPherson's giving Shane Edgar plenty to think about in the Brembo Falcon. Mitch Hamilton rounding out the field in the Victoria Bidder machine. He's driving for Billy Manson.
Yeah, so getting a wee bit out of shape there is Edgar. Just loses a wee bit of momentum going up the hill. Might open the gate a wee bit for McPherson. Very tricky wee corner this one till you can get it round. Find the apex and put the foot down again. Down the Gardner straight. 44.4 this time for Johnny Small. Keeping it nice and consistent. Alex Sprague 44.6. So just keeping that gap there or thereabouts. Around about that 2 seconds. And there's Braden Carroll out in the zone in 3rd. Morgan Dorr having a good run. He's another one that had a pretty crap start to the season, but had his best round to date last week. And getting a lot of oversteer going on there in the Falcon Ute. You can see the hands going flat out in there.
So also good dice. A little bit further back there we can see Nick McPherson still over the back of the South Canterbury Removals machine. Here they come through the shot now. Shane Edgar and Nick McPherson, 6th and 7th.
She's all on here. Andrew Bruce trying to do the up and under. Looks like he might have got the job done, although Dawes still got the inside line there. Edgar in the background has a bit of a harebrained moment. Round he goes. And back to that 8th spot as this battle's still continuing. Andrew Bruce gets the job done back up to that 4th place. Still hasn't shaken him though, Morgan Dorr. And it's worked into Braden Carroll's hands there in 3rd place. Taking a bit of pressure off. Morgan Dorr though looking pretty racy. Let's see what happens down into the hairpin here. Andrew Bruce being quite defensive on the inside there. And no way through for Morgan Dorr. They'll come round. Be 2 laps to go this time. As you get the power down onto the Gardner straight. Still is Johnny Small. 44.3 last time through. Sprague 45.5. So Sprague must have had a bit of a moment there somewhere. Another 2nd lap slower. 3 yellow sectors. Unless he's just biding his time now with a couple of laps left to go. Unless Johnny Small has a big off, then it's looking pretty good for him. So young Alex, I think he had about 6 wins on the trot.
Well, we just saw, looking at his screen, the front right tyre was in the red zone, so I wonder if he's just easing back a little bit to trying to get back in the operating window for his tyres.
Yeah, they do cool off, but they take half a lap to cool off, and if you don't put them under too much pressure, as Andrew Bruce just goes wide there on the ripple strip, gathers a wee bit of grass, and Morgan Dorr still right on his bumper. Wants that 4th spot does Morgan Dorr. Bit of a gap back now to Nick McPherson, who's a lonely 6th there. And further back, Mitch Hamilton and Shane Edgar. In fact, Shane Edgar's out of the car. So,
yeah, we see that the South Canterbury Removals machine's in the pits.
So still Braden Carroll hanging on to that 3rd place. Andrew Bruce, Morgan Dorr. Andrew Bruce just starting to pull away from Morgan Dorr a wee bit now. You're getting towards the end of the race. Some of these tyres will be getting pretty hot. I might have to nurse 1 or 2. So that's the leader, Johnny Small. Looking for a race win here in the U and Holden. You just see how he slowed up a wee bit through that corner. And keeping it nice and tidy. It is the last lap. He's got a comfortable wee gap there between himself and Sprague. So it's good to see Johnny quite competitive. Someone else taking it to young Alex. At least it was Billy Manson, the only one that could really challenge Alex Sprague for a while. But he's done it all on his own this time. Sprague goes purple in the first sector just to rub salt in the wounds. Try and take that fastest lap. And up the hill they go. The rest of them just spread themselves out in the background there. Braden Carroll, Bruce and Dorr there. McPherson's still hanging on to 6th. Down the hill into the Miller corner. Head back up the hill again. Left hand over the crest. And winder down the straight. So checkered flag is out and waiting for Johnny Small as he comes down. Onto the Gardner Straight. There's no guesses who that was named after, Brendan. Phillip Island being a big motorcycle track. As he comes down and takes the race win, Johnny Small. And he'll be pretty chuffed with that. A 1:45 on the last lap. Sprague comes through to take second. Or is this the final lap now? No, that's it. So Braden Carroll takes third from Andrew Bruce. Morgan Dorr in the end 5th. And Nick McPherson 6th. Mitch Hamilton will come through for 7th. And then Shane Edgar, obviously out of the ute and the pits already. So great stuff from Johnny Small.
Was a good result. So you're just mentioning the Gardner Straight. Once the circuit was resurfaced and reopened and the Grand Prix bikes came back, the very first race was won by Mr. Wayne Gardner. Much to the delight of the Australian crowd, I would think. I'm sure they'd be very patriotic, very verbal in their support for a local competitor. Anyway, reverse good race. So Shane Edgar now has put himself on the front row by virtue of his exemplary result in the first race this evening. Beside him on the grid, Mitch Hamilton, then Nick McPherson, Morgan Dorr, Andrew Bruce, Braden Carroll on row 3. And then at the back there, Alex Sprague and Johnny Small. So Alex Sprague will be hoping to get a much better start. Unfortunately, his 4th qualifying position in the last race.
Righto, waiting on the lights. Got the 6 reds are away. Everyone off to a pretty even start now as they head down the Gardner Straight. Down towards Doan Corner. On cold tyres. High speed corner. Who's got their nose in front? Has Hamilton got his nose up the front as they come round the right-hander? Oh, Edgar already got a slide going on halfway round the corner. Bit of a coming together there with Johnny Small, Andrew Bruce and Morgan Dorr in the background. And Hamilton's going to find himself in front as they come over the top. And heading down towards the Miller corner. And look at that, Sprague already up to 2nd off the back row of the grid after all that chaos there with those 4 cars. So it's looking pretty good for him at the moment, although he's got Braden Carroll tucked right behind him. So come down into the Miller hairpin.
I'm thinking it's probably too late tonight for Alex Sprague to buy a lotto ticket, but then he's not old enough to buy one anyway, so he'll just have to take the win on the circuit, I guess.
Up through Siberia they go. On the run up the hill. Flat out through here. Let's see if Hamilton can hold his nerve. What can Carroll do there from 3rd? Looking pretty racy, tucked in behind Alex Sprague. We've seen Alex with the overheating tyre issues in that race 1. And didn't really slow him up a hell of a lot though as they come down. Through the next right-hander and up over the hill again. Over the top of the hill and down onto the Gardner Straight. It's going to be Mitch Hamilton leads them from Alex Sprague. What can Mitch do? Can he be quite defensive there? You'll see Alex was way quicker through that corner and it's showing as they come down across the line. He's probably got the job done really, Alex Sprague, and that was all to do with speed coming onto the Gardner Straight as they come down through the Doan corner.
And Mitch Hamilton was telling me in the warm-up this evening that would be one of the best passing manoeuvres, would be get your speed up, going through the left-handers onto the front straight and then making a pass at the end of it. Obviously Alex Sprague was listening to his tutorial.
So what can Braden Carroll do now from 3rd place? Can he put the pressure on Mitch Hamilton? Braden Carroll. He likes sliding the rear of that Kmart Ute around as Sprague goes wide out the ripple strip. Getting the power down. Another wee F-bomb coming from over the back there. It might have been Braden Carroll once again from third place. And not too far back, Nick McPherson, Morgan Dorr, Andrew Bruce, Johnny Small and Shane Edgar started on pole and had a spin at that first corner. Is at the back of the pack. As the leader's starting to stretch her out a wee bit now. Alex Sprague, a bit of clear air in front of him.
Well, he can just get into his own rhythm now, not put pressure on his tyres.
Yes, it's Mitch Hamilton now, he's in the hot seat. He's going to try and get on the back of Alex Sprague. We'll kick that gap down a wee bit and then fend off Braden Carroll in behind that Kmart Holden there. Back down onto the Gardner Straight here at Phillip Island. Round 7 for the Tier 1 Championship. The championship leader out in front at the moment, Alex Sprague, 44.9 that time through. Braden Carroll 45.6, be the next fastest. Carroll sitting there in that Kmart Holden in third place, currently second in the championship. He's going to have a wee sniff up the inside, is he, Braden Carroll? A couple of different lines being taken there. And you just see how patient they are going over the top of that hill before the power goes down. Just one wee touch of the accelerator and she'll want to come round on you. Johnny Small at 44.5 from 7th. So he's not mucking round. We dive up the inside this time. Braden Carroll was going to be a touch between the two of them. No, pretty good racing. Leaving each other enough room. But Hamilton's got that inside line going up over through Siberia. But Braden Carroll, she's not all over yet. Up the hill they go. You'll see all the sea in the background there. Apparently it's got magnificent views. Phillip Island. It's a bit of a windy bastard of a place though.
And little blue penguins.
Little blue penguins, Brendan.
I think the Australians call them fairy penguins, but little blue penguins if you're over this side of the Tasman Sea.
Good battle still going on here for second. Oh, just getting a bit of a slide going on there, Braden Carroll, as was McPherson. Just getting that power down, trying to get it down a wee bit too early. And lost a couple of tenths there, Braden Carroll. He's just dropped back 2 or 3 more Ute lengths. So come down onto the Gardner Straight. You pick 6th gear down here. If we go an onboard shot down here, Billy, it'd be nice just to hear these things revving the nuts out. They really are bouncing off the foot flat. She's round at 7,500 revs. Still 6th gear as we head up towards the southern loop here. You just see how high up it is, and you just got to be patient going over this hill because you can't see where the track is. There it is there. Aim it out over towards the curb and away you go again. 5th gear, probably pick 6th gear down through here, flat through here. 6th gear, get down to the 100 metre board, chop it down to 4th gear, down to 2nd gear and throw a run. You get a wheel up on the curb there, but as you can see, you can throw you a wee bit offline there as it did to Mitch Hamilton. Up to Siberia. Another wee patient section of the track here till she bites in. And then flat out up here, 4th gear. Up to 5th. Well, that's probably 5th gear there, I would say. Up here. Gonna have a wee look, is he up the inside, Braden Carroll? Getting close to having a bit of a touch, these two. Be looking in his mirrors, Mitch Hamilton. That's another blind crest over the top there. And hard on the brakes and pointer in there. Take a wee bit of curb on the inside just to help rotate the ute round a wee bit. And then up over the top. Important to get this right, to get that run down the back straight. You see Braden Carroll there in the mirrors of Mitch Hamilton. Once again, we'll go down the front straight. Just listen to this thing scream the knackers off it. There we go, top gear. Down across the line. Just kick the foot right up it till you're just about on turning. Just a wee dab on the brakes just to point her in. Then you're going to put your foot down again. Head up to here and probably 4th or 3rd. You see Braden Carroll very late on the brakes, has a wee sniff up on the inside there. Might have it done this time, is he? No, just about a touch between the two of them as they head back up towards the middle corner. Still hanging on though, Mitch. It's good racing from these two. Forget about the race leader, Alex Sprague. He's 3 seconds up the track. And down into the hairpin. So Carroll looking pretty racy there. Can he get the traction down? Not bad this time. As they head up through Siberia. Oh, Mitch will know all about it after this one if he can hang it on to there. Pretty sweaty stuff, I'd say, looking in those mirrors. Feel like you're getting attacked from behind. Here we go on board the Braden Carroll. Heading up over the top of the hill here. And just right around, you'll see a power pole. That red sign there, that's what you sort of, the first thing you see as you pop over there. Which means you're all right to put the foot down. Another wee tricky section here, up and over. As you can see the ute getting a wee bit light there for Mitch Hamilton. Flat out down through here, carry as much speed as you can, try not to button off. Use all the track you can. Still tucked in behind there though, Braden Carroll. Yeah, Mitch Hamilton doing a good job with 2 laps left to go. And Alex Sprague out by 4.5 seconds now, a 44.6 last time through. These two here are doing mid to late 46s. Holding each other up a wee bit. Here goes Carroll. Trying to eye up another move up the inside on Mitch Hamilton. The others are still status quo there with Morgan Dorn 4th, McPherson 5th, Andrew Bruce 6th, Johnny Small and Shane Edgar round out the 8 Utes. As we head down towards the Miller corner here. You have another wee sniff up the inside, getting a wee bit out of shape. Bit of a rub between the two of them. And you'll see that Braden Carroll will readdress that and let Mitch go. As we see Morgan Dorr getting out of shape in the background from 4th. Not too far away from McPherson, getting on the back of him. So Dorr getting all sideways from 4th place. So those cars are behind. They're not too far away from one another. As this battle here still continues. Not much that the Braden Carroll can do. Mitch Hamilton running a pretty good race at the moment. Hanging on to 2nd. Back up and over the hill they go again. Still Dorr hanging on over McPherson for 4th and 5th. Using every bit of track he can, Braden Carroll. A lot closer this time now as they come round the fast right-hander onto the Gardner Straight. Oh, getting a wee bit out of shape there, Mitch Hamilton. That might open the door up a little bit for Braden Carroll. Might try and get a run down the outside, or do the crossover, come back up the inside. Not the best place to be though there for this very fast left-hander, but he might have got the job done as he, if Mitch can still hang it there. Back up to the southern loop. Hamilton's still got his nose in front. Carroll might try and do the old up and under as they come back down the hill. Down through Stoner Corner, which is this very quick left-hander, named after obviously Casey Stoner. And down into the Miller hairpin. Still Hamilton got the racing line on the inside. Carroll all over the back of him. Great stuff from the two young fellas. She's all on a wee bit further back. Oh, Johnny Small having a bit of a spin all by himself there, and out it shoots into the grass and into the wall. And the Irwin Ute drops down to 7th. Just trying to get that power down too quick. And she's still on for these two though. There's the leader. Is on the final lap. What can Carroll do? Got his half a sniff up the inside. Hamilton giving him enough room if he wants to have a go at it, but and then being quite defensive down the slow stuff. So that's good driving from Mitch. Up over the top of the hill. Still being defensive on that inside line. No way for Carroll to go around the outside there. Another wee fuck's sake from over the back there from Braden Carroll. Obviously missed gear. A few of them coming from tonight. Don't know why. He's had a pretty good run. as they come down across the line. And it's another good win for young Alex Sprague, first of the night for him. Mitch Hamilton will take second. Braden Carroll third, Morgan Dorr, Andrew Bruce, Nick McPherson, Johnny Small comes through in seventh.
He'll be the
And
last
Shane
finisher,
Eager once
'cause,
again.
yeah, another DNF for the
Another DNF.
South Kennedy removals machine.
So that's good stuff there, and a good win to Alex.
So we're just having a look at that first corner incident, Paul. Did anyone nudge anyone else?
You'll keep your eyes on Shane Eager here at the front. Comes around, watch. Oh yeah, a bit of a kick on the inside there, come across. And them all chaos happening behind.
Let's have a look again. Was that Victoria Bit of Ute involved? I think it might have been.
Yeah, that wasn't that far up either, I wouldn't have thought. Yes, is he far enough up is the question. I would have thought maybe not, looking at that shot. I think we can class that as a racing incident. I think that's majority rules, well, I've seen of it. And then, of course, she all happened from in behind there. Johnny Small, a big moment. Then across into Andrew Bruce. Bit of a nut cruncher, that one. Getting a wee bit of air. That was probably really the only incident of the race.
Definitely the most exciting one.
Although good drag down across the start-finish line here, and who was it got at the end?
So race win to Alex Sprague, and P2 will stand for Mitch Hamilton in the Victoria Bidder machine.
Yes,
So
great battle with Braden Carroll there, all race long.
So that is the end for the Tier 1 drivers. For their first go, we'll have the Tier 2 competitors hop back in the hot seat. So I think Billy was going to give them just a 5-second qualifying session. 5 minutes rather, 5-minute qualifying session for the second half of the evening, and then they'll have another 7-lap sprint race based on qualifying, then one on reverse grid. And then we'll see the Tier 1 drivers out again. So good racing there from the Tier 1 competitors. Very convincing win to Johnny Small in the first race for Tier 2. And then he was unfortunately taken out in the first corner incident for race 2. And that allowed Alex Sprague to get through the field unscathed. Eventually got into the lead and then drove away to take the win once again. So just waiting for the Tier 2 competitors to get into their sims and get comfortable. And then Billy will put 5 minutes on the board for them at the 4.4 kilometre Phillip Island circuit for their second qualifying session of the evening.
Oh, it's just because I did it and I was like, I braked way later than you, and I was like, it's either turn here in the corner or I shut you coming. I was there, or I shut you completely off. I'm just hoping it's not too bad, and then like I wasn't putting, it wasn't in second, so I was in neutral, just braking off, and I'm like, so I'm getting even decent fucking braking. I'm just like, and then yeah, and I was like, oh, that could be a penalty, so I'm just not gonna risk it, because if I got a penalty, then I'll be nothing so much.
won't see you again for the rest of the weekend. Rest of the night.
So welcome Mitch Hamilton back to the microphone. What did you think of that, Mitch? That was a pretty good result for you.
I've never sweated so much in my life trying to hold on to P2 then. That was quite good.
Well, that was a good race. A good hard race, but clean racing. First corner incident aside.
Yes, yeah.
So now we will be got the Tier 2 competitors back out onto the circuit. Billy's about to give them 5 minutes of fun to see who can be fastest. And then we'll kick off their second round of 7-lap races. So out onto the 4.4 kilometre Phillip Island circuit they go.
The battle for turn 1 and qualifying.
Yeah. Well, we've said it every week. You need to get yourself clear space in qualifying. Get your tyres into the operating temperature window and then go hard. There's no point racing another driver while you're trying to qualify. It's not going to help either of you.
If it was me and I wasn't quite sure, I'd try and get on the back of Dylan there and see what he's doing, because he's making it look pretty easy out there.
Yeah, just get out there and follow his lines. So he's done pretty well for the championship. Dylan Dalrymple, he's been the shining star in Tier 2. There's young Lincoln Brunton in the Red Bull machine. He was a third place getter in their second race this evening. He made the most of 2 cars in front of him coming together and was able to drive through cleanly. But what can they do with 5 minutes on the clock? Just a very short qualifying session, so probably take a couple of laps to get the tyres into the operating window, so it's probably only really going to be one good hot lap if you get a clean one.
Even on your second lap, the tyres are still really not there, but I mean, you've got to try anyway, just in case you do make a mistake on your flying lap.
Because it can be quite hard to pass, as we've seen. If someone's taking the right lines, it's very hard to get around them. And there's the Jim Beam bonded machine. About to come over the start-finish line. Start their first real hot lap in anger. It's Jimmy Carroll in the Jim bonded machine, just looking at Dylan Dalrymple, the standout competitor this evening for the Tier 2 field. Just looking back to Dallas Redhead behind him in the Gatorade machine. Dallas has had a good win earlier this evening. Paul Lancaster had a very good race, managed to keep Dylan Dalrymple behind him for first 4 or 5 laps in the reverse skid race till Dylan was able to get through. But what can he do? Purple first sector for the Brembo Falcon. That's what we've come to expect for the Tier 2 field. Up the hill he goes. Over that blind crest, that one must be quite exciting as you come up there at high speed, Mitch.
It gets very loose. You've got to stay tight, and then if you're defensive, throw it back up to the inside on the next corner. So a lot going on in a short amount of time.
And then we've got the fast left-handers coming on to the main front straight.
Fast and middle sector for Adam Bell. See what his time can do, but the first time we get on the board will be 45. That's pretty good.
45-2, 48-1 for Dallas Redhead.
Lincoln Brunton
pulls a 146.0 out of the bag. So Adam Bell finished on a 146.3. That was the fastest middle sector.
50 seconds left in the qualifying session, so this will be the one that makes it or breaks it probably.
Certainly will be. Lincoln Brunton doing very well as our super sub this week in the Red Bull Holden. 146.0. He's had a P3 already this evening. And he might get it on the front row for the second round of races coming at you from Phillip Island.
It's quite good being a Tier 2 driver. Once the Tier 1s go out, you can stand behind them and watch what gear they're using and where they turn in and get a few tips between races.
So what can they pull out of the bag?
No.
Jimmy Carroll, James Swaney yet to put a competitive time on the board.
No purple sectors coming up on the board so far. Oh, there we go. Adam Bell's got another fastest middle sector.
Oh, and there we go. Adam Bell off the circuit, so he's thrown this lap away. Can Lincoln Brunton go faster?
And the problem too, by the time you get back up to speed, you've kind of thrown your next lap away too, because you don't get the run down the front straight.
So 146.0. Dallas Redhead pushes Lincoln Brunton back to P3 on 146.09. So Paul Artu goes through. He's sitting P6. And the Valvoline Holden.
James Swaney. James Swaney back up to 6th on that last lap.
So that's going to set the grid. Dylan Dalrymple, Adam Bell on the front row, then Dallas Redhead, James Swaney, Lincoln Brunton, Jimmy Carroll, row 3, Paul Lancaster, Paul Artu, the two Pauls. At the back of the grid, another 7 laps coming to you from Phillip Island, just out of Melbourne. Waiting for the lights to come on. There we go. Who can hook it up off the line and get away? Into gear they go, off the line. Everyone rolls away from the start. We've just got Paul Lancaster having a little look down the middle there as he gets rolling through this fast right-hander. It's just going to be a little dab on the brakes under cold tyres.
See how they go into turn 1. A lot cleaner than T. Oh, I spoke too soon.
Oh, Paul Lancaster, Paul Artu. Jimmy Carroll manages to avoid the carnage.
South Canterbury Removals getting their advertising budget for the season. Makes the highlight reel for the next season.
Make the highlight reel. Well, they have had 2 DNFs in the Tier 1 rounds with Shane Edgar behind the wheel, so Paul Lancaster will be hoping to give them some return for their advertising dollar, but it's Dylan Dalrymple leading Dallas Redhead, Lincoln Brunton.
This is where you gotta try and get Dylan under cold tyres so he doesn't kind of start pulling away, because he's real quick when he's got that clear air in front of him.
And Lincoln Brunton very feisty on the first lap, all over the back of Dallas Redhead in the Gatorade machine. Also through the back there we've got Adam Bell, James Swaney running the Irwin colours for this race. Oh,
no, he's going to save it.
Not quite.
Racing incident.
It was a racing incident, you think, Mitch?
I don't think I can comment on incidents. I get myself in a few.
So that might be something Billy Rowley will be interested in looking at the end of the race. But currently Lincoln Brunton's running 3rd on the road. There's Adam Bell, James Swaney sitting in 3 and 4 as they come across the start-finish straight to start their second lap.
Dylan already got a 3-second lead.
157.4 for Dylan Dalrymple off the front row from a standing start.
Adam Bell obviously coming through after making the mistake in qualifying, so see how he goes. Oh, we got multiple cars off at turn 1.
Almost like there's oil on the circuit there.
Oh, we got a third.
And all masters of their own destiny, no assistance required.
Well, if he can break that late, I'll break that late.
So that's given Adam Bell, Jimmy Carroll, put them potentially podium positions just on lap 2. Just look up the road there, Dylan Dalrymple
Jimmy Carroll, he'll be excited about the third place there.
Yeah, that's given him a 2-place jump. Dallas Redhead now P4, Lincoln Brunton back to P5, James Swaney P6. There's Lincoln Brunton all over the back of Dallas Redhead as they climb the hill. Up over the brow they go, all over the back of the Gatorade Falcon. Over the brow, down into the dip, the very tight right-hander. Passing opportunity there if you manage to get through the inside, but Dallas Redhead taking a very clean defensive line, keeping Lincoln Brunton at his mirrors for the moment. And then we can see Jimmy Carroll, who managed to get round that fast left-hander when others failed. Let's put him into P3. So 145.5 for Dylan Dalrymple as he goes across the line. 46 for Adam Bell. Jimmy Carroll's done a 150. There is Dallas Redhead with Lincoln Brunton in the Redhead Holden. Lincoln just getting a little bit loose there, just at the end of the fast right-hander. Manages to pull up and get under control. He's got James Swaney behind him in the Irwin Racing Holden Ute. And we can see Paul Lancaster in the South Canterbury removals machine. Still circulating, good shot through that fast left-hand sweeper. Then they've got the hard braking zone coming into the right-hander. Jimmy Carroll gets out into the foliage. There's Dallas Redhead to get through in the Gatorade machine.
Dallas has just got to put his head down now and kind of catch up. He is him and
a bit of
Adam.
a nudge there. Lincoln Brunton, I think, offered some assistance to Jimmy Carroll exiting the circuit. Rejoins in front of Paul Lancaster. That's pushed him back to P6 in the Jim Beam bonded Falcon Ute.
The championship is quite tight between Adam Bell and Dallas Redhead for second place.
So they're currently running second and third on the road. Championship leader Dylan Dalrymple once again 5 seconds out in front in the Brembo Falcon.
That's how the top three are, in the championship as well. So if you want to get some points over someone, they've got to put their head down and start making up some places.
Okay, underway on lap 4. Lincoln Brunton all over the back of Dallas Redhead. Has a wee look down the inside. No. Doesn't pull off a manoeuvre there. And through the big left-hander. James Swaney, master of his own destiny. Let's pull Lancaster through. Jimmy Carroll going to get through unscathed. There he goes around the outside. He's lucky. And then Paul Artu's also on the bumper now of James Swaney. But Lincoln Brunton trying to get through Dallas Redhead for P3.
10-second gap to the car in front of this group here. First and second place storming away.
Yeah, 145.7, 146.1. Dylan Dalrymple, Adam Bell at the front of the field. They're both running in clear air. 5-second lead for race leader Dylan Dalrymple in the Brembo Falcon over Adam Bell in the Kmart Holden. So here we go into the right-hander. Good passing opportunity. Lincoln gets a little bit hard on the gas.
Got a bit excited there.
Yeah, gathers it up though. That takes the pressure off Dallas Redhead. He's going to lead Lincoln Brunton across the line to commence lap 6 of 7. There's Adam Bell. We can just see Dylan Dalrymple disappearing through the shot in the Brembo Ford Falcon.
Good consistent 45s from both of them.
The goat, good shot through that sweeping left-hander into the hard braking zone. Right-hand hairpin. Just rides a little bit of the ripple strip there, does Dylan Dalrymple. Gosh, try and say that with a few liquid refreshments on board. Makes the climb up the hill. Not under any pressure. He's just over 4.5 seconds up the road from Adam Bell in the Kmart Holden.
Doesn't normally make a mistake when he's in this position either.
We call that the commentator's curse, Mitch.
I was just trying to make the race more exciting by saying it, just hoping something would happen.
No, he's definitely staked his claim on the Tier 2 championship, has Dylan Dalrymple. Adam Bell, though, purple in Sector 2. Can he do something better? He's going to need to do that over and over again. Only got 2 laps to go to try and hunt down the leader, Dylan Dalrymple. 1:45.3 for the race leader. 1:45.6 for Adam Bell in P2.
So not making any dints into the lead.
No, Lincoln Brunton's got on to Dallas Redhead's bumper once again. Goes left, goes right. It's not a hard braking zone though, so it can be quite tricky to get through the inside there through the fast right-hander. We have seen the odd car hang on the outside, so they've got the inside line through for this
Always on wide.
left-hand sweeper.
Will Lincoln get the run through here now into the hard braking zone?
How wide can Dallas Redhead make the Gatorade Ford Falcon?
Mowing the grass up the inside, he will.
So, very fast exit for Lincoln Brunton. Keep good corner speed through the hairpin. Up the hill they climb. So can Lincoln get himself into a position to outbrake Dallas Redhead going into the
he's done this
right-hander.
before. They came together on lap 1 through here, but always gone wide. He's got the run. Easy as that.
Yeah, good clean pass there from Lincoln Brunton. Dallas got a little bit unsettled coming over top of the brow, had to take the foot out of it. That gave Lincoln Brunton the momentum to get past. Good clean pass in the end there from Lincoln. That
Right on
puts
the
him
last
up
lap.
to P3.
Dylan comes down to get the win. Or is he on lap 7 now?
He's just start lap 7, I think.
Right.
So these two are going to start their last lap. Can Dallas Redhead take the position back from Lincoln Brunton? So there's James Swaney. He's on the back of Jimmy Carroll in the Jim Beam bonded machine.
He's going to get a run into turn 1.
But
Oh, no.
oh, both drivers there who can recover the best. Looks like Dallas Redhead.
As a readdress. That was all good. Oh, it must be all down at turn 1 again.
Something on the circuit. Anyway, Paul Lancaster, he's P5, James Swaney P6, Jimmy Carroll. You can just see Paul Lato in the background in the Valvoline machine. So everyone on their last lap. Can James Swaney do anything about Paul Lancaster up the road there in P5?
Gets a bit excited on the throttle and gets a bit sideways coming out of the corner.
And we have seen Paul Lancaster, very hard man to pass when he puts his mind to it. He kept Dylan Dalrymple at bay for 4 or 5 laps earlier this evening.
Of course, a reverse grid after this, so Paul Artu in the prime seat for pole position for that. Making the best out of a bad situation.
That's right. So James Swaney, though, still trying to hunt down Paul Lancaster and P5. Over the brow they go. But there is the winner. Dylan Dalrymple goes through, taking another P1 for the Tier 2 field.
Making it look easy.
Oh no, Paul Lancaster's had a moment. Just coming into the left-handers onto the front straight.
James Swaney gets him.
Yeah. James Swaney doesn't need a written invitation. I'll take that. Thank you very much. So, Adam Bell goes through P2, Dallas Redhead, Lincoln Brunton, James Swaney, Paul Lancaster, Jimmy Carroll. As Mitch said, Paul Latu will get pole for the reverse grid race. So just waiting for the reset. There we go, reverse grid for the fourth race this evening for the Tier 2 field. Paul Latu, Jimmy Carroll will be on the front row, then Lancaster and Swaney, Lincoln Brunton, Dallas Redhead will start from row 3, and at the back will be Adam Bell and Dylan Dalrymple, the two fast chargers for the Tier 2 field in the Kmart machine and the Brembo Ford Falcon. It's going to start P8.
The lights are on.
Yeah, can we get through the first corner with no carnage? And away we go. Looks like they all hook up off the line.
Jimmy
James
Carroll
Swaney goes to the inside of Jimmy Carroll.
Be 3 wide into turn 1.
So Paul Latu, he takes a nice clean line through the fast right-hander, all on cold tyres. All Jimmy Carroll just goes around the outside. That pushes him to the back of the circuit, the Jim Beam Bombard machine. Everyone else through reasonably cleanly.
Lincoln Brunton getting a good wee jump on that race, already up to 3rd.
Yeah, well, Dylan Dalrymple's already in P4. He's getting a little bit loose there in the Brembo machine.
Oh,
Paul Lancaster just trying to have a wee look around the outside there as Paul Latu. He's trying to get himself into a position for the braking zone. He rides the corner. Paul Latu goes very wide, but manages to keep his speed up exiting the corner. Through the left-hander they go.
Everyone taking the tight line through there.
Yeah. Oh. Up the mountain, Lincoln Brunton just getting a little bit loose coming off the corner. That might give Dylan Dalrymple a chance to go around the outside with a bit more momentum. And he certainly does. He makes that stick.
Oh, Lincoln's going for a look up the inside. No, thinks better of it.
Okay, up over the brow they go. Into the braking zone for the tight right-hander. Oh, a little bit of a touch there. James Swaney spun around Lincoln Brunton. It's going to push him to the back of the field.
Now they're too wide.
So through the fast left-handers they go, coming onto the Gardner Straight. So Dylan Dalrymple all over the back of Paul Lancaster in the South Canterbury removal machine. Can he get a run coming down the straight?
Widest Falcon ever made.
Yeah, no, Paul Lancaster says you're going to have to take the long way round if you want to go through. Dylan Dalrymple doesn't know whether to go left or right.
Paul got a run in there. Paul moves up to first place.
Yeah.
Paul and
Paul. Oh, Latu gets all out of shape and he goes off out into the kiddie ladder. That leads the field through, takes the pressure off Dylan Dalrymple. Now he's just got to concentrate on Paul Lancaster up the road in the South Canterbury Removals Falcon. But as we've seen to the race earlier this evening, Paul Lancaster can be a very hard man to get past.
Oh, he breaks a bit late there. Yeah, easy
saying
as that. Makes that easy.
He certainly does. I'll take that very with gratitude, says Dylan Dalrymple. He goes through to P1.
Can Adam Bell get past Paul quickly to try and get onto the back of Dylan?
Yeah, and then very close there, the next 4 cars, though, isn't it? Paul Lancaster, Adam Bell, James Swaney, Dallas Redhead.
I feel like something's going to happen on the other side of this wee hill here.
Set up for action, isn't it? Over the top they go into the braking zone for the tight right-hander. Oh, Dallas Redhead takes his foot out of it, otherwise he would have given James Swaney some assistance off the circuit. He takes his foot out of it, holds his position. So Paul Lancaster still leading. Adam Bell, as they come down the front straight once again to start the next lap.
46 for Dylan, already making light work of no cars in front of him.
Yeah, can just get into the zone, although fastest lap goes to Lincoln Brunton all the way back down the field in P7. Oh, Paul Lancaster off on the inside of the circuit. Gives Adam Bell a serve as he comes back on. Oh, there goes Jimmy Carroll.
It's that at turn 1 again.
Yeah, obviously a slippery part of the circuit. It's where most of the action's happening this evening.
See if Jimmy Carroll can capitalise on the third place there.
Yes, and then just behind him, Lincoln Brunton. He's had a couple of P3s. So far, touchwood, we haven't seen any gearbox or engine demolitions. Although we don't know what took Shane Edgar out of the Tier 1 races. So up the hill climbs Dallas Redhead. He's in pursuit of Dylan Dalrymple. Jimmy Carroll, Lincoln Brunton. We're just looking at James Swaney going through the shot in the Ewan racing Holden Ute. And there's Paul Artu and Adam Bell.
Close wee battle here.
So Paul Artu just needs to take a defensive line through that tight right-hander.
Jimmy Carroll parked off to the side.
More colourful language coming out of the racing sims from HOSS and the Royal Arcade Timaru. So 1:45.7, Dylan Dalrymple. Clear air, got his tyres into the perfect operating window. He's under no pressure, 6 seconds up the road from Dallas Redhead. We're just watching the Paul Artu Adam Bell battle as Adam Bell gets past before they cross the start-finish line to start lap 4. Pulls over to consolidate his position, then takes the right-hand sweeper in the Kmart Racing Holden Ute. So there's James Swaney, P4 on the Irwin machine, and Lincoln Brunton. He's now P3 in the Red Bull Holden Ute. Through the left-hand sweeper.
He's doing well.
Yeah, down into the hairpin. We can see Dallas Redhead just up the road. Got Cookie Monster and Elmo on the back of the Gatorade machine. And we're just looking back out the window to James Swaney, Adam Bell and Paul Artu.
Here's the battle.
Well, Adam Bell through the inside of James Swaney, just hangs him out to dry through the tight left-hander.
Adam Bell's had the pace tonight, but just hasn't been able to capitalise on it with spins and accidents. But
not all of them have been of his own doing either, Mitch. But he's pulled off a good pass there, got himself up to P4. Of course, young Lincoln Bell's over 8 seconds up the road. Just under 8 seconds now. There they go, climbing the hill. And they've got the fast left-handers coming on to the Gardner Straight. Another 1:45 for Dylan Dalrymple, 1:45.0 as he starts lap 5 of 7.
Dallas Redhead not being able to capitalise, still a second behind him on that lap.
So Lincoln Brunton, he crosses the stripe. 1:46.7 for the young lad in the Red Bull Holden.
See what Adam Bell can do now. He's got a bit of clear track. The gap may be too much. We are at the stage of the race where the tyres start going off.
So a little bit harder to push now, is it, Mitch? Once you've
a lot easier to make a mistake.
A lot easier to make a mistake. And we've seen that Utes are on the edge on this very fast circuit anyway. No aero on them. There we go. Through the right hander he goes, climbing the hill. James Swaney is Paul Artu with Paul Lancaster on his tail. And Jimmy Carroll now at the back of the field. We can see him just coming into shot in the Jim Beam bonded Falcon Ute. Up over the brow they go. So Lincoln Brunton, he's had a spin. That's pushed him back to P5, and he's got Paul Latu in his mirrors.
It's James Swaney capitalising. Good fourth position for him.
And Adam Dowell, he's taken P3.
Be interesting to see if any of them are actually thinking about the championship, and should we just get it a good pool of points instead of trying to push a bit further. But
so 2 purple sectors there from Adam Bell in the Kmart Holden. He goes through in a 1:45.3.
fastest man of the last lap.
So
Dylan's
that wasn't too bad for worn tyres then, Mitch.
No, he's obviously so far in front that he can afford to relax it a bit.
Roll down the window, light a dart, and
That's it, arm up on the window and check out the sights.
what would you be listening to in your V8 Ute? Bit of Cold Chisel, perhaps?
They do sound good with the headphones on, I must say that.
But the V8 sounds coming through your
Oh,
headphones.
it's good.
Making music. Yes, send some audio to Greta Thunberg, see what she thinks. So up the hill goes James Swaney and Lincoln Brunton.
Lincoln, the fill-in for tonight, making a good wee race of it.
Over the brow they go. Ooh, gets a little bit light on the tail, does Lincoln Brunton. Gathers it up though. He's got
Another lap to go.
just 6/10 of a second. Up the road is the Irwin Racing machine of James Swaney, as they are about to start lap 7 of 7. There's Paul Lancaster in the South Canterbury removals machine. He's been involved in a few incidents, not of his own making this evening, unfortunately. There's Paul Latu who goes through in the Valvoline Holden, and there's Jimmy Carroll, the Jim Beam bonded machine. But race leader, Dylan Dalrymple.
Good lead there. Oh, he's just sliding it around on the last lap. Having fun with it.
Up the hill he goes. So over a 6-second lead over Dallas Redhead and the Gatorade machine, although we can see Dallas just getting a little bit out of shape there at the back of the shot.
Hard to make that gap up, and only a few corners left to go. This is where the battle is for the race.
Yeah, Lincoln Brunton, can he get P4 off James Swaney? They head up the hill.
Take some championship points off him.
So we've just seen the odd driver, if they can sit through the inside here and hang round the outside through the left-hander over the brow, they've got the inside line then for the right-hander.
Keep it tight through here or he's going to go wide. No, James is aware of it.
Yeah. James said you're going to take the hard road if you're going around there. Oh, Lincoln gets all out of shape. Does that give Paul Lancaster a run on him?
Through the next fast corners.
Anyway, while all that's been going on, Dylan Dalrymple has taken the win once again.
Another win from tonight.
Yeah, race 3 for the Tier 2 field. Dallas Redhead, Adam Bell goes through. There is James Swaney. He's going to keep P4.
Paul Lancaster spitting in the background. I wonder, was he assisted there or?
No, you think was there a nudge from Mr. Latu? Do you think
They were close, but
okay? So Paul Lancaster rolls across the line for P7 in the South Canterbury removals machine. That leaves Jimmy Carroll at the back of the field in the Jim Beam bonded Falcon Ute.
now we look back at the incidents and Racing Standards Observer is going to work.
The highlights reel. So we've got some smiles and bad language out of Paul Lancaster, so a bit of $1 each way for his evening. I'm just having a look through the first corner. Oh, what do you think there? Was that a racing incident, Mitch?
Everything's a racing incident in a ute.
I have to say, I think Mr. Adam Bell was just on his racing line minding his own business there, Mitch. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't think you can come across on someone. It might be.
Yeah, look at all the room that Paul Lancaster's got on the outside of the circuit. He just doesn't want to share.
I think it's fine.
You think it's fine? Racing incident. Anything else there that Billy Rowley wants to have a look at? So just looking at Dallas Redhead's Gatorade machine. So what are we looking at here? It's Lincoln Brunton chasing him down in the Red Bull Holden.
I don't know what's worse, if you make the mistake or you've got everyone stands here and watches you make the mistake.
Yeah, instead of just one opinion, which is normally Billy Rowley's, now you've got probably 16 opinions around you.
It's like a court case and everyone's just trying to... I know, that's fun.
Either going to burn you at the stake or put you in the stocks.
I think it was lap 1 on the reverse grid race. Going into the hairpin, going up to that hill.
So we're just having a wee look. So, well, Dallas Redhead just break a little bit too early.
I think Lincoln got a bump from behind.
Don't know, possibly a racing incident. So we've got.
I like the driving standards of it tonight. He's been real nice.
Yeah.
I'll slip the 20 later on.
Don't know what sort of liquid refreshment does the driving standards observer like? Here we go. So looking at Lincoln Brunton again. So here we go. Oh, there we go. So we'll watch that incident again. Going downhill into the braking zone. Oh.
Getting his 5 and his 10 metre mark mixed up.
Yeah. So James Swaney on Lincoln Brunton there.
Utes sounding like Formula 1 cars, man.
The revving a wee bit higher. It doesn't sound like 7,500, does it?
Nah, that's all good. That's side by side. Might have taken a little tighter line.
I saw you got through, and by the time I got around to the end of the lap,
Time for tier 1.
Yeah, plenty of entertainment there. So thank you very much for your assistance there, Mitch. Have a good couple of races for the tier 1 field. You put that Victoria bidder machine on the front row. So what did you think, Paul? Looks like some of the other drivers didn't like you being in their way once again.
I feel like a bit of a magnet there sometimes, Brendan. I think it's 4 or 5 in a row. I think I've had a punt off in the first 1 or 2 corners. Hence the F-bombs coming from my corner. Wow.
One might say that your pit crew polish it so much it's statically charged, Paul. It's attracting all the other vehicles to it. Anyway.
Right, so qualifying for the second round for the Tier 1s for round 7. And a winner piece for Johnny Small and Alex Sprague tonight. Johnny Small with the scratch pole position in the first qualifying session this evening for the Tier 1s. You can see she's a bit of a battle there trying to get out on the track for that track position. See you later, guys. See you, James. So she's pretty busy stuff there with qualifying just starting. Only the 5 minutes this time, so perhaps they're worried about that getting that second lap in. You don't want to hang back too much, or you might not get your second click across the line.
So Johnny Small out into the kiddie litter.
Already, yeah, with cold tyres these things tend to understeer around the place. Brakes don't seem to pull up like they normally would when they're hot. And a very busy track here at Phillip Island. And Braden Carroll's got the nose in front there for the clear air there for qualifying. So they're still on their out lap. They'll come round. Even their first hot lap, the tyres aren't going to be quite up to temperatures. Just looking at some of the gauges around here, a lot of blue tyres still. Shane Eager decided to hang back. He was going to have a one lap dash by the look of it. And there's the rest of these guys.
Well, we're just watching Alex Sprague there, Paul. He's definitely trying to get some heat in his tyres, working the steering wheel very hard on this corner to try and generate some heat so he can pull the trigger for the next lap.
Alex on one of the bronze simulators here tonight. There are the 3 tiers of simulators, the 3 bronze, the 2 silver and the 3 golds, with the motion simulator there being the pride and joy, the triple screen, and also the gold platinum with the triple screen there as well. Oh, someone getting lost in the background there already. Alex Sprague, I think it was, coming down across the line, so he's going to probably lose out on this next lap. Might struggle to get round and get another one in for qualifying. So the way they go on their first hot lap, Andrew Bruce not too far in behind Braden Carroll there. On their first hot lap for the second part of the evening for Tier 1. Down into the Miller corner. And then the run up the hill. Have seen Braden Carroll down in the 44s. See what he does. This time looking pretty smooth at the moment. He does like throwing the thing around. He's gone fastest in the first sector. And the run up the hill. Around Siberia they go up over the top. They drop down into this quite a tricky wee corner, downhill and then uphill and then over the top of the crest and then downhill again, so it's got to be careful on the old accelerator. Running it wide, using all the track there, Braden Carroll, as they come down the Gardner Straight to reel off the first hot lap for qualifying. 1:23 left on the clock, so we'll get one more run each as he comes across a 44.7s the first time down. Andrew Bruce a 44.9. Couple of good times first up. Johnny Small a 45.9. Nick McPherson a 46.3. And Mitch Hamilton a 148.5. Of course, Alex Sprague, he had a spin across the start-finish line there last time. So this will be his only hot lap, will be the last one. So can Braden Carroll go quicker? He's gone purple in the first sector. Johnny Small's gone, oh no, that's the previous lap, purple in the middle sector. So Andrew Bruce not too far behind there on the shot. 44.7 plays a 44.9. 2/10 between the two of them. Then it's a second back to Johnny Small in third. Keep your eyes on Alex Sprague though. Might see him jump up into the top 3. I think they have a pretty good lap there in the 44s. There he is there, the Milwaukee number 56, current series champion. There's he's on the run up the hill, Braden Carroll. He went purple in the second sector, but then Andrew Bruce come back and took that off him. So it's going to be pretty close between those two. If we go back to the leaders there, Billy, it wouldn't be too far away from coming across the line. Braden Carroll, here he is. Coming down the straight. Let's see what he can go through at. Purple in the first sector. Bruce gone purple in the second. A 44.3. And then what does Andrew Bruce come through? 44.4. Look at that. Takes the pole position. Johnny Small a 45.0. Mitch Hamilton a 45.9. Look, keeping your eyes on Alex Sprague. See what he can do from that 6th place. And he jumps up to second, so a pole position for Andrew Bruce. It's probably going to be his first of the championship, I would say, Andrew Bruce. And he's managed to get Alex Sprague by 4 100ths of a second. Here's Shane Edgar. Currently green in 2. Yet to post a competitive time as he comes down onto the Gardner Straight. Let's see what he can do this time, Shane Edgar. Down to set his one and only lap, comes across. And where does he end up? He ends up about 5th, I think, does he? No, 8th. So there we go, Andrew Bruce, congratulations on the pole position. Braden Carroll beside him, then Alex Sprague 3rd, Morgan Dorr beside him, Johnny Small, bit of work to do there from 5th, Mitch Hamilton, Nick McPherson and Shane Edgar rounds out the 8 Utes here for the 3rd race of the night for round 7 here at Phillip Island, waiting on the lights. 3rd race of 4 for them this evening. Lights are out and away we go. Everyone off to a pretty even start, no one sort of getting out of line from where they are. Get through the gears and head down towards that first corner there at Doohan. The right-hander, very fast, be probably 5th gear through here flat out. Andrew Bruce is going to lead from Sprague. Then Carroll and Johnny Small's gained a position there off the start. And a great start also too from Shane Edgar off the back up to 5th. So go up over the southern loop. Drop down the hill, cold tyres, be pretty tricky at the moment. Andrew Bruce got Alex Sprague right in behind him. Braden Carroll there as well as they head down towards the Miller corner. Through the Stoner curve they go. And then hard on the braking down here, down to about 2nd gear. Johnny Small having a look up the inside, might have gained a spot or 2 up to 3rd. Braden Carroll's gone down a couple of spots as Edgar tries to get him around the outside as well. Great start from Shane Edgar, if he can keep it there. But it's Andrew Bruce with Sprague all over the back of him from Small, then Carroll. It's going to be a great race, this one. And up to 5th, Shane Edgar in that South Canterbury Removals, having a bit of a ding-dong battle there with Mitch Hamilton. And he should get through on Mitch. Heading up the hill. Up over Siberia. There you go. Sprague trying to go around the outside. We know he's quicker over the top of the hill, and he got the correct line for the hairpin. Bruce comes along, gives him a bit of a nudge. Small tries to go up the inside as well, while Sprague's making hay while the sun shines. But there's no way for Johnny Small to get through. He's had to tuck back in behind Andrew Bruce. Up over the top of the hill they go. Down through the left-hander onto the Gardner Straight to reel off lap number 1. It's going to be Alex Sprague from Andrew Bruce. Johnny Small, first race winner tonight. Johnny Small right on the back of Bruce now as he pulls out across the start-finish line. Flat out in 6th, down towards the Doohan corner. Sprague will lead. Bruce still hanging on, but around the outside goes Johnny Small. If he can keep it there, he'll take the position. Got the inside line for the southern loop. And a great passing move there from Johnny Small. And here comes Braden Carroll trying to have a sniff up the inside Andrew Bruce as well. So these 4 guys all going for it. You can see the gap now back to 5th place with Mitch Hamilton and Morgan Dorr all over the back of him. But Braden Carroll on Andrew Bruce. Let's see what these two can do. Oh, he comes across into the back of him, and Braden Carroll, and into the back of him again. So that looks like a penalty to me, and Andrew Bruce not too happy with that, and don't blame him really from third. A bit of a whack, touch on the bum from behind. You can't even do that, not even at the Waimate Swingers Party, let alone down here at HOSS. And it's getting out of shape there. Mitch Hamilton trying to get the power down a wee bit too early. A wee bit of rubbing on the rear there from was it Braden Carroll on the back of Andrew Bruce. So in my eyes, Brendan, that all started in the braking zone. If he couldn't pull it up, I know Bruce was being defensive, but that's what you do. And a bit of a touch at the rear from Braden Carroll.
So there'll be something for the driving standards adjudicated to have a wee look at after the race, but watching Johnny Small trying to hunt down Alex Sprague, just 8/10 in it. Oh, 144.5 for Johnny Small, 144.7 for Alex Sprague as they start lap 3.
Poor old Andrew Bruce, he's dropped down to 7th there after getting what a 7th former would like on a prom night. A wee touch up the inside. That dropped back to 7th, now up to 6th now, so he's managed to get through on Mitch Hamilton. And this is the battle though out front. Johnny Small trying to chase down Alex Sprague. Of course, Johnny's been looking after young Alex in the 2K Cup, doing a lot of the pitting for him. Peter Sprague obviously got his hands full with Corbin and Alex this coming season. So Johnny will be looking after young Alex in the pits. Alex driving hopefully the full season in 2K Cup this coming season. And would be a long shot to take, a good shot to take the title, I should say. Heading up over the top now. Alex Sprague. It's him in the Milwaukee machine, just locking the rears up as they drop down into the bottom of the hill, head up over the top. Just listen to the revs on the Ute as they come up over the top of the hill. Just quite gingerly till they get them straightened up, and then flat out down through here. 5th, 6th gear even. Runner wide. He's got a good run down the front straight this time, Johnny Small, as they come down across the line. Is he going to go left or right? He's going to try and go around the outside as they head down towards Doohan. Sprague's obviously got that inside line, but around the outside goes Johnny Small. That'll be another great passing move. He can keep it there as they head up towards the southern loop. Just going a wee bit wide now. Alex Sprague might try and come across and do the crossover over the top of the hill. But in the end, Johnny Small is the man on form tonight. Pole position and a win. Now he's up to the race lead. Can he keep it there? What's he like under pressure? As they head through Stoner Curve, down towards Miller Corner, and trying to go around the outside. Young Alex John's got the inside line though, the Irwin Racing Ute. Try and do the old switch over, but that won't work for him because Johnny Small still got that inside line as they head up over Siberia, up over the top, and then head up the hill. 4th gear, 5th gear. Up through here, flat out. And find you can go up over the top of this next section in 5th. You just point her in the right direction and hope she sticks. You see a bit of 4-wheel drifting going on from the two of them. And then up over the top of the hill, down into this hard braking zone. Oh, getting a bit out of shape there, Johnny Small. Just opened up the door a wee bit there for Alex Sprague. Got a wee bit out of shape, just lost a length or two. And Johnny Small will lead them once again. Well, for the first time across the stripe in the Irwin number 18, looking for race win number 2 this evening. Using all the track, Brendan, that he can find. Careful not to chuck a wheel out in that grass. Shane Egger once again parked in the pits. So, if you're sure if he's blowing something up or he's just had a guts full.
That's 3 for 3 for the South Canterbury Removals machine.
The mental head gasket has blown. So he's way off outside there to get some fresh air. They're on the run up. Or run down the hill, I should say. Round through the Stoner curve. Still Johnny Small leading Alex Sprague. They've cleared away from Braden Carroll. You would have thought these two would be holding themselves up a little bit. 44.6 last time from Alex Sprague, from Johnny Small. 45.4 from Alex Sprague. So Alex just trying to line him up. Just make him force into a mistake. On board now with Alex as we head up the hill. Tricky wee section this. Keep it nice and tight down a couple of gears. Keep the revs on over the top, bit of oversteer. And down here to the braking zone, probably chop it down to second gear. Very quick through the gears, young Alex. A lot of guys like myself will go from fourth to second. He likes to go fourth, third, second. And he does it in quick succession as he's gone purple in the first sector, green in the second. Should see a new fastest lap now as he's trying to chase Johnny Small down in front. Johnny using every bit of track as he can. Down the Gardner straight to reel off another lap. What can he do this time? A 44.068 from Alex Sprague. And there weren't much between the two of them. 44.072 from Johnny Small. So 4/100ths of a second. Not much at all. Yes, looks like Johnny Small might have just been getting out of shape a little bit there, but got it under control on the exit. So down the hill they go. There's Carroll in the background. Morgan Dorr having another strong run in fourth. Nick McPherson, Andrew Bruce fought his way back to sixth, and he'll be crying in the soup tonight. Andrew Bruce, you won't hear about it. You'll hear all about it tomorrow at smoker time. There'll be a few excuses going on, but I'd have to agree with them though. So Braden Carroll under a bit of a penalty cloud, you might say. Morgan Dorr, if he can keep it nice and close in behind him, could inherit a third placing if there's a penalty involved. And when it's the man behind, especially front to rear, it's really the guy in behind's onus not to hit the dude in front, even if he is being defensive. Up over the top of the hill again, still Johnny Small. Should come down and get the last lap board this time for race 3 for round 7. Small looking for his second win of the night. And looking good for maybe a round win perhaps which would be out of the bag for Johnny. A 44.3 and a 44.08. There goes Carroll in third place. Morgan Dorr not too far behind him though. Couple of seconds, second and a half maybe. And a battle still going on further back. Andrew Bruce trying to have a wee sniff up the inside of Nick McPherson to get up to that fifth placing. Andrew Bruce, he'll be after every point he can get because he's sitting about third in the championship. And it was on for a good result up until that incident previous. He goes to lead, it's still Johnny Small. Leads him through the corner. Alex Sprague trying all he can. Go around the outside, he'll try and have a wee look up the inside. Goes purple again, does Sprague. Certainly is trying. On board with the young chap now as we head up the hill. Fourth gear, fifth gear. Nice smooth gear changes, keep it up it as you head up the hill here. Fifth, go down to fourth. Over the top here, bit of a blind brow, a bit of oversteer there, which Alex doesn't mind a lot of oversteer.
We certainly held on to that one, Paul.
Through the corner, up and over the top. So Johnny Small still hanging on. Sprague just getting a wee bit out of shape there mid-corner. And lost a bit of momentum as they come down onto the Gardner straight. Should be checkered flag out this time for Johnny Small. Going to come down and take race win number 2 for the evening for him and the Irwin Holden. Congratulations to him. Alex Sprague will take second. So up 4 spots for Johnny Small. And here comes Braden Carroll under that penalty cloud he is. Morgan Dorr comes down for 4th, Andrew Bruce 5th, and Nick McPherson 6th in the new line entry. And here comes Mitch Hamilton in the VB Utes subbing for Billy Manson this week. Sitting there in 7th, Shane Edgar obviously blowing that head gasket, so he's out. And another 8th place for him tonight. So great stuff there. We'll reverse him up.
Probably bend the valve now.
So Shane Edgar starting off the rear. Because he didn't finish, he doesn't get that pole position start. That's going to be Nick McPherson and Andrew Bruce on the front row. Morgan Dorr, Braden Carroll second row, then Small and Sprague on the third row. Then Edgar and Hamilton on the rear. So waiting on the lights, 4th race of the evening. For round 7 here at HOSS at Phillip Island. Got the 6 lights. And waiting on the start, and away we go. Pretty much an even start from everybody. As we get the power down, head down towards the first corner down there at Doohan Corner, named after Mick Doohan. And is it going to be McPherson that gets the whole shot around the outside? He does. And he'll have the inside line in through the southern loop. Oh, as he goes a bit wide around the top there, still managing to hang on though, Nick McPherson from Andrew Bruce. Braden Carroll running 3rd, Morgan Dorr side by side with Johnny Small as a head up down the hill to the Stoner Curve. Flat out through here, tyres and brakes will still be cold. And hard on the brakes, down to 2nd gear. Can he keep it on the island there? McPherson goes out in the grass. Did that all on his own. A bit of a touch too on Andrew Bruce from Johnny Small. And Morgan Dorr trying to take avoiding action. And around he goes. But Johnny Small just getting in the back of Andrew Bruce. 3 wide up over the hill by the look of it. Still 3 wide. Doesn't sort of work. And Johnny Small threading the needle between the two. And here goes Andrew Bruce up the inside. Comes across, gives Sprague a bit of a tap. Puts him out into the kitty litter. And that's Mitch Hamilton goes through on him, so he's dropped down a couple of spots, Alex Sprague, but she's all on there, 3 wide. And Johnny Small come out the best of those 3 anyway, up to 2nd place. Andrew Bruce sitting there in 3rd, Mitch Hamilton 4th. Alex Sprague back to 5th. And Nick McPherson, he'll be kicking himself tonight. Making excuses all day tomorrow at work, but he locked it up himself and put it out in the grass. And down to 6th place after lap 1. Edgar running 7th, Morgan Dorr after taking avoiding action in that first corner incident. And is at the back of the pack there. So Braden Carroll it is from Johnny Small. Andrew Bruce. It was Johnny Small that gave Bruce a bit of a touchy-feely on the back there just before, but redressed himself, Johnny Small, which sort of backed everybody else up, and that's when Morgan Dorr had to take avoiding action. Oh, as we get Braden Carroll just 4-wheel drifting it out wide into the hairpin there, and then running it up the hill, lost a wee bit of time to Johnny Small. And the difference between these top 3 guys is that Johnny Small has done a lot of circuit racing himself. Braden Carroll hasn't done any, and neither has Andrew Bruce, from what I can gather. And that's where you get a better sense of if you're following someone or you've got someone behind you who has done a lot of racing. They sort of know what to look for to try and avoid someone in that braking situation. And I find that perhaps a few of these drivers that haven't done a lot of track racing don't seem to use their mirrors too much, Brendan. Not really used to the fact of having people around you too much.
Well, we have seen some of the in-car footage. You actually do get a very clear shot of the chasing driver in your mirrors, so it can be also a bit
it depends what sim you're in too and how you've got it set up. If you have a look around you, some of these the gold simulators have got good wing mirrors on them, and the bronze ones not so much. Bit of a half a mirror. Do have that rear view mirror up the top, as you normally would in a car as well.
So anyway, Braden Carroll's going to have a rear view mirror full of Johnny Small in the Irwin Racing Holden. He's got onto his bumper. There's just a half a second in it now between first and second.
Yeah, John will be looking for another win of the night, trying to make it 3 for the night. Heavy braking zone now. Still Braden Carroll in the Kmart. He just runs wide. Lets Johnny Small close up a wee bit more. Just 1 length between the two of them. Good battle going on the background too. Mitch Hamilton got Alex Sprague all over the back of him. And Mitch Hamilton, another one of the guys that's done a lot of track racing. Shane Edgar as well. Nick McPherson's done a bit of Lemons racing. Did the 8 hour they had at Levels a wee while ago. Up over the top of the hill, down to the bottom of it. Small having a dive up the inside. Looks like he's got the job done, Johnny Small. And to hit that sussed from halfway down the hill. And to be fair, Braden Carroll left the door open for him. And she'd be hard on the brakes and up the inside. So Johnny Small through the lead. Carroll down the second. Andrew Bruce chasing hard from third. Eric Sprague managed to get through on Mitch Hamilton. He's got a bit of work to do, but still got plenty of time left. 4 laps left in the race. Round through Dillon they go. This time it's Small that leads him. Can he open up a bit of a gap? Can Andrew Bruce get on the back of this as well? Plenty of time, as I say, just halfway through the race. Braden Carroll's still looking racy though. He's not letting Small get away from him. And in the background you'll see everyone else not too far away. And Morgan Dorr bringing up the rear of the pack. Morgan Dorr in fact going to challenge Shane Edgar very shortly by the looks of that. But there's Sprague, see what he can do. There goes the South Carry Removals Ute. 3 DNFs tonight so far for Shane Edgar. Bit of red mist and blown head gasket. Looks like he's done it all himself again as we just put the commentator's curse on and round he goes. 360 and a half. And another wee F-bomb there. He's going back to the pits for a reset by the looks of that. He's reaching for the keyboard. There he goes. He's gone back to the pits. And in fact he's jumping out, so we need to change that keyboard there, Brendan, onto some of the race action. Pretty sure you know what you're doing. As our race director's just pissed off somewhere and looking after some of the golfers on their way out. Here comes the race leaders down the front straight. It looks like Johnny Small still in the lead there from Braden Carroll. Then you've got the Jim Beam car there of Andrew Bruce. So Johnny Small still leads. We do have a bit of an issue with the race director at the moment. I can tell you Johnny Small still in the lead from Braden Carroll. Andrew Bruce and Alex Sprague chasing hard, just a couple of 3 seconds back from Andrew Bruce now in that 4th place. Mitch Hamilton sitting in 5th, Nick McPherson and Morgan Dorr. And Shane Edgar has left the building. Not a good night for him. 4 DNFs. It's his ute you can see sitting in the pits there. The race director just coming back. We'll pick that leading bunch up of Johnny Small. And Braden Carroll, here we go. So just starting to get away from him a little bit there, Johnny Small. A couple of seconds back to Braden Carroll, well just over a second in fact. And he just seems to have clicked with this track, Brendan.
Well, he certainly has. Like every round up until now, no one has been able to touch Alex Sprague. If Alex Sprague hasn't won, it's been more of Alex Sprague's own doing than anyone else. And Johnny Small just has got into the groove at this circuit. 3 wins.
Looking for his 3rd.
Yeah, looking for his 3rd, I should say. 2 wins and a 2nd.
And I'd say we'd definitely give him the round 1, that's for sure.
Alex Sprague, who had the other win, he's sitting in P4 currently. And
yeah, he's chasing Andrew Bruce pretty hard at the moment. 43.9, fastest lap of the race from Alex Sprague. It's the first time we've seen a 43 all night.
so he's certainly got some motivation.
Certainly has. And even though these two out in front sort of cleared out a bit now, you just see them back a shot. There goes Sprague in the black and red Milwaukee Ute. He's going to run out of laps though, with a lap and a half left to go. Johnny Small back down to Murray's corner. And on the run up the hill again. Into Siberia. Big long corner through here. There's second, there's Andrew Bruce in third. Oh, bit of trouble there with Mitch Hamilton and Nick McPherson. Bit of how's your sister going on. And up the hill they go. Mitch Hamilton subbing in for Billy Manson tonight in the VB Holden Ute. And Nick McPherson had his best round ever last week. Down the hill they go. So Morgan Dorr not too far off the back of this pack either, looking to score a few points. Down towards the rear. So Sprague now getting closer and closer to Andrew Bruce. He won't be far away from the leader, going across to get the white flag. In fact, he's just gone across the line now. Get the last lap board. This battle here down towards the rear of the pack. Nick McPherson there on the white and red one. We go back and pick the leader up there, Billy, with half a lap to go. And hopefully he doesn't make a mistake there. And Johnny Small looking for third win of the night. Here he is, down at the Murray's corner for the last time. Got the new livery tonight there in the Irwin number 18.
It's been a lucky change for him this evening, Paul.
Yes, a bit of a touch there from McPherson on the back of Hamilton. And Dorr trying to have a sniff up the inside there of McPherson. But really pushing shit uphill with only half a lap left to go. Be pretty hard from there. Be like a drain layer in Venice, Brendan. Pretty hard to find where the end of the pipe is. Here goes our race leader down onto the Gardner Straight for the last time. Going to come down and get the checkered flag for the third time this evening. Johnny Small, he'll take the round win as well. Great stuff from Johnny coming on towards the end of the championship. He had a tough start for the first 3 or 4 rounds. And he got 3 from 4 tonight. Braden Carroll will take second. Andrew Bruce will take third. And then Alex Sprague fourth. Mitch Hamilton, Nick McPherson. And Morgan Dorr, of course. Braden Carroll could be under a cloud there for that touch with Andrew Bruce. We go back and have a look at that. Yeah, some nice wee sideways action going on across the finish line. But congratulations, Johnny Small. Excellent 3 out of 4 from him for this evening. So we'll just keep an eye on this here with the replay. So might have Johnny Small over here for a quick yarn. 3 from 4. Said last weekend, I think was his best week, best round. But Johnny, this week 3 out of 4, pretty good.
Yeah, I managed to hold it together and get a win. Looks good, yeah.
So not many people have taken it there, Alex. You just seem to have clicked with this track and he just hasn't quite clicked.
Oh, no, he's probably to blame for that because he's been helping me each week, so I think this help will probably stop now.
No doubt it will. I think Pete will be having words in his ear tonight.
Yeah, there'll be no more being able to watch over his shoulder, I don't think.
He'll be sneaking down to do some practice when no one's here. No, congratulations, mate, and I'd say you get the round win out of that as well.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
So just looking at some replays here of a Braden Carroll on the back of Andrew Bruce. Down the here, oh, that was a touch from a long way out. We come down the 100 metre board on the brakes and just into the back of him. And to be fair, if he had stayed in behind there, the second touch might have been the worst one of the lot. He redressed himself there, and then of course Andrew Bruce trying to gather it up and gets tagged again. So that'll be up to the driver's standards observer Billy Rowley to throw out a penalty maybe.
So we're just going to have a look. There's a little bit of an incident at the third race.
There's a bit of a line up at the door to the driver's standards observer's door. It can make a difference at the end. I think last year we seen there was only a few points between first and second come down to the last race, I think. See you later, Lincoln. So we'll just hang around and look for another one. Another replay.
The 3 wide incident.
I didn't even know you were there until I hit you. I didn't know it was 3. No, we were 3 wide going into that right.
So Billy is watching reasonably intently. Here we go. We can see them 3 wide, obviously not showing on the big screen.
And then I had
So Alex Sprague got assisted out into the kiddie litter. Was it a deliberate act?
Just a bit sort of clumsy, yeah.
Put it on the big screen would be good.
All right, let's see if we can put that on the big screen for those of you watching from home.
Just a review of another incident.
Sorry for firing you off in qualifying. I'll just give you a bum draft, and it's like.
So we had a few apologies going around the competitors.
I thought it real slowly, and then it was just like gone. I was like, oh my god! I can't.
Yeah. Here we go. 3 wide. That's the incident. With
Just looking
Bruce.
at the replay, here we go 3 wide up the hill. Johnny Small in the middle, Andrew Bruce up the inside, and then Sprague. Then up the hill. It's a bit hard to tell with that one, Brendan.
Well, it didn't look like a deliberate incident.
No.
But
And no one went round to the end. Of course, Sprague went out in the boondocks.
Yeah. So there's a little nudge, Bruce, on Small earlier on.
And then Bruce still...
You can see that I'm not totally sure. Yeah. That gets both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, an unfortunate race incident with an unfortunate victim in Alex Sprague.
That's right.
So that's not going to change the outcome of the race?
Change the outcome.
No.
Okay.
I am open to
We still haven't found out what sort of liquid refreshments you like there, Billy.
No, nothing for Braden though.
Oh, no, no. Absolutely.
Oh, sweet.
Alrighty.
Look at that.
Yeah, sweet.
So that wraps up our round at Phillip Island. So where are we jetting off to next week, Billy? Barber Motorsports Park. Back to
That's
the
right,
States.
for round 8, the final round. Should be
Enduro
all on.
round. Alrighty.
Enduro round as well.
Tune in next week. Hopefully we've got better weather in Timaru as well as the beautiful weather we've been enjoying tonight at Phillip Island.
That's right, I'm going to go to Twice tomorrow. See how that goes.
Oh, there'd be like a -4 or something, won't it, Paul?
I was -8 yesterday morning up the back of Lake Apua. Went down through a valley up there. It was about 20 k's in past Lake Apua, up Lochinbar Station Way, and went down through this valley. It was -8, and I think it froze the one of the fan belts in the van, and she made a hell of a noise there till she warmed up again.
Oh.
1 o'clock this afternoon we had a guy follow a road truck through.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go down the long way. Go up through over Taylor.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
Yes, hopefully we'll have
Motorsport
B2 back next week, and for the big finale. We'll see you then.